What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Smoking Tire Podcast. This episode of the show is brought to you by Beeline Coffee. I've got my own roasted Beeline Coffee, the Roasted Tire. It's delicious. It's a lighter roast. It's medium body. It's got a bunch of caffeine in it, but it's still drinkable all day. I drink the stuff all morning. It is delicious. Beeline Coffee uses the best beans from the most well-known sources, whether it's Ethiopia, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, all different parts of Central America and Africa. There's a Rwanda roast too. My man Cameron Weiss got his own roast as well. Check that out. Beeline is it's delicious stuff. And if you use code TST at checkout, I'll give you 15% off your entire order. Whether it's a big order, small order, subscription plan, doesn't matter. Beeline Coffee makes a great gift. I got my dad the Coffee of the Month plan for a year last year, and he loves it. He drinks the stuff every day as well. Use code TST at checkout at BeelineCoffee.com. Get yourself a nice helping of Beeline Coffee, the official coffee beverage of the Smoking Tire Podcast. Also, don't forget about Dillon Optics. Those amazing sunglasses I've been wearing now for almost 8 years in our videos. Dillons don't just look different, they work different. It's like looking at HD life. The image quality through this glass is so good and so clear. Whenever people see me wearing my Dillons, they go, "Oh, why are your glasses fogged up?" And I go, "They're not fogged up. This is how they're supposed to look. Here, try them on." And then they try them on and they go, "Wow, this is an amazing level of clarity and vividness from a pair of sunglasses." Go to thesmokingtire.com, click on the Partners tab, and there's a banner ad there for Dillon. If you click on that one, I will send you a free Smoking Tire t-shirt with every purchase of Dillon Optics sunglasses. And I'm going to keep wearing these things because I love them. I can't ever imagine myself wearing a different brand of sunglasses. Dillons are they're made in America in Scottsdale, Arizona, and it's a great company, and I love working with them. Go to thesmokingtire.com. Click on the Partners tab and the Dillon banner. I know that's a couple of steps, but there's really not a better way to do it right now. And I'll send you a free Smoking Tire t-shirt if you order up a pair of Dillon Optics sunglasses. Okay, on this episode of the show, we've got Hannes. I'm creating a benefer here. Hannah, Elliott, and Magnus Walker. We're going to call them Hannes Walker. Hannah Elliott and Magnus Walker, Porsche power couple. Hannah is a writer for Bloomberg Business Week. She travels around writing about cars. She does new car reviews and news. She's a sweetheart. Love having her on the show. And her tag-along boyfriend, Mr. Magnus Walker, Porsche file, Porsche expert. This is a great show. We have a lot of fun with these two, and it's great to catch up with them in their adventures. Here they are, Magnus Walker and Hannah Elliott on the Smoking Tire Podcast.
Look at that. What does that say? Comments disabled
intentionally.
Oh, let's talk about that. Instagram comments disabled intentionally.
Oh, what's happening? Folks, it's the Smoking Tire Podcast with Miss Hannah Elliott and Mr. Magnus Walker.
Cheers, Prost.
It is very important that we recognize the fact that Hannah was invited here first.
That's true.
That's very kind of you.
You got to eat the mic, Hannah.
I'm just the Uber driver.
Bring it to you. It's okay. Bring it to you wherever you wanted to put it.
Thank you.
Hello. Hello,
that's
folks.
better. Hi, guys.
Top of the evening.
You're just the turbocharged dready Uber driver?
Uber outlaw. But that's
Uber
a whole other
good.
subject. Uber
That's
outlaws
good.
and Uber drivers.
like
We had
that.
a great one today.
Magnus Walker in the house. Follow that fool on Instagram.
That's right.
At Magnus Walker. And, of course, at Hannah, Hannah.
Yes.
ELLIOTT
Yes.
XO.
That's right.
Two of everything in a kiss
Oh,
and a
shit.
hug.
I didn't hit the live button on that.
Oh,
boy.
Oh.
Auto live needs to be enabled. Sorry.
Shoot the rehearsal. Take two.
Yeah, fuck it.
That's
you
all
know,
that golden
sometimes I'm
stuff
trying
right
to
there.
be a producer and a host at the same time.
Multi-talented. Multitasker.
Oh, man. Since you mentioned Uber, can I just tell you a real funny story
Sure,
about today?
we got plenty of
Please.
We got
stories.
time. I'm sure you guys have all the stories in the world because I've followed you a fucking lap of the earth in the last 6 months, it seems like.
Too much time on your hands, but yeah, we're traveling.
No shit, that's unbelievable. So this morning, my Porsche, I got it back from Lee Kane.
Yeah,
it's fucking.
I've seen it. It's got the awesome interior.
Fucking beautiful. Well, yeah, there's that.
We
too.
do have to talk about that.
We can talk about that in a
Wow.
minute. But so my
Is that copper brown metallic?
the Porsche?
The color.
The Porsche is cassis red.
That is red? No.
Beautiful.
No, cassis red is really like
Beautiful.
metallic
Yeah.
purple.
Yeah.
So I got
It's
it
weird.
back.
In that photo, it looks like copper
Yeah,
brown.
and it has a different, every light you
Yeah.
photograph it in, it absorbs the sun
it.
in a different way. I actually find
That's
it quite lovely.
really
Like
beautiful.
wholesome.
Right?
Really beautiful. Yeah. I
So
like that.
I got it. I had it back for 2 days. I hadn't seen it for a year. They were doing the build, all this fucking
You went
shit.
and got it dirty somewhere.
I got it like mildly dirty,
Okay.
but then it started blowing smoke.
Uh-oh.
And so I took it over to Marco at TLG in North Hollywood.
yeah.
You know Marco?
I've known Marco a long time.
He's the man.
Yeah.
And he got it in, and we did a compression test, and the compression is good, thank God, but this is what my number 6 spark plug looked like.
That's not very pretty.
And the valve guides are fucked, and I need a top-end rebuild.
Uh-oh.
Which is a bummer. He's going to do it. He's going to do it over December, and I get to bring the car to Radwood still. But the funny part of the story is, while he's looking at my car, I took his fucking Audi and went to get a burrito. And when, not that's a Genesis, but when I came back, I got my car, whatever, I went home,
Didn't
got
give him
home.
the keys back.
His fucking keys were in my pocket.
Uh-oh.
And so I was like, oh no. I was like, I know. I'll call an Uber to take his keys.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Smart.
Not you,
Smart.
just the keys.
Yeah,
Seems
that's
like a
good.
good
It's a
idea.
courier service, really.
Seems like a good idea, right?
Yeah.
I call
Uber
this-
delivers?
I call this Uber. He comes over, and I go, hey, man, you're not taking me. You're just taking the keys.
Yeah.
And he goes, I don't do deliveries.
Oh.
And he did like a burnout out of my house in his Prius. I got so mad. And then slams on the brakes, looks back, goes, you better cancel that ride because I'm not canceling it. That's on you. And I was like, oh my God.
Wow.
And yeah, fuck that guy.
We all have Uber
That's too
stories.
bad. I
Yeah.
mean, he should have been cool about it. It's
Who
not
wouldn't
cut-
rather take a set
rather
of
take
keys than a human?
100%.
Right?
Any day. Then you don't
Any
have to
day.
talk
You don't
or
have to
be
talk
polite or
do
anything.
Here,
Yes.
then it's not like
Yes.
it's like if I was to give you a hockey bag. All right,
Yeah,
I
of
get it. You
course.
don't
Set
want to
of
run
golf
my
clubs.
potential drugs or my
Yeah.
potential body. I
Exactly.
get it. But a set of keys. There's no.
You
harm
should have
in
been
that.
cool
No
about
harm in
that.
that.
Jesus.
That's come on.
So anyway.
So it's been one of those days for you.
It started at 5:45, ended with a middle fight with an Uber driver, but it's okay. We have
Jeez.
Blantons now,
Yeah.
so it's all
We've
good.
all had fights
Makes
with
it
Uber
better.
drivers.
How is
Yeah.
that? I haven't had that Angel
Pretty
City.
good.
It's
It's wet. It's cold. So you're going to build the car out to 3.2 short stroke, the rally car?
No,
Annoying
I'm
elf?
just gonna fix it.
That's good.
Maybe Marco's trying to get me into like a little hotter cam.
Okay.
But like it doesn't. He was going. We could go with the 3.4. We could go with the height. And I go, how much is that?
Yeah.
Let's just fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the with the off road tires.
That's your first Porsche, right?
Yeah.
That's the one you bought last year. somewhere
Yeah,
up north.
I fucking love it though. It's so with the off road tires,
Yeah,
dude.
just hop
Just
curbs.
smash speed bumps
Yeah.
and hop over. It's
Curb.
so fun. It really is fun. You should have one.
Well, I've been in a few.
Have you been
That'd
over
be
like
cool.
with Tuttle in England? Like, have you been in one of those?
No, I haven't done that. But in Hamburg, I went with a crazy German guy off-roading.
I saw that
He's built a
video.
lot of safari cars.
Oh, I remember that video.
Yeah, he
He's
literally
good.
just goes
video.
through the
Yeah,
curb and goes through the woods.
He was in the
and-
woods.
Yeah, he was in the woods, not on a trail.
Swearing in
just
German.
Making his own trail in the
That's
woods, yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've done quite a bit of off-roading in Porsches. The last one was driving from Brisbane to Perth across the Simpson Desert, Ayers Rock.
Lovely. There's something floating in my bourbon.
Protein
Fuck it.
It'll be pickled by now.
or roughage.
Is there anything
Either
floating
way,
in yours?
actually, a little bit.
Is
I
it?
think it's like maybe from the cask.
Maybe from
which
the
is
cork?
yeah, that's fine.
The good news is there's nothing
Yeah.
in the beer.
We're
I'm
classy.
into it. Yeah.
We're classy,
Yeah.
gentlemen.
Yeah. I
What's
like
up,
it.
live audience? If you want to get in with Hannah and Magnus on the super chat in this show, we will get to that in the last 30 of the show. We have a good stream.
There we go.
Fuck.
Streaming.
Yeah, can everyone? Yeah, people can see us. We're
I
good.
think they can.
We're good. You know, it's a fine line between producing and fucking everything.
It's like
else.
love and hate.
Yeah, I saw you got to have a go, Hannah, in the new Vantage recently. I just had my second one of those. Do you like it?
I like it.
You got the gray one, right? Or was those stock photos?
No. Those were our photos. Those were the gray one.
I know I'm on the other side of the mic, but you
can
gotta
see-
talk. You got to talk through the mic.
Okay,
and-
I'm
I know.
straight on.
Boom.
Yeah.
Now I'm just a whole.
Just talk like you're
makeup
rapping,
section.
when you're up in the clubs doing your rap thing.
Was yours good or did it have issues?
No. Did yours have issues?
A couple. Nothing like major,
That's
but some
not
electrical
great.
wonkiness.
It's
That's
British.
not good at
It's English.
all.
Yeah,
No, I love that car. I thought it was great. I loved it.
You know why it's good for you? Because you're tall. It's a tall person's car.
Yes,
finally.
it is. Yes,
The
it
seat
is.
goes
It's.
slow.
I know. I love it, and I
Yeah.
love small cars anyway, and I love low cars, and anything with enough headroom for me. really happy.
720S is a good tall person's car.
I agree. Although I actually like some of the quote unquote lesser McLarens.
Why?
Because
Not as
I'm not
froggy?
I'm not a track fiend. I mean, I like driving on the track, but like I want to drive my cars on the roads and like, over bumps and up hills. And the 720S to me,
You didn't think it was good at that stuff? I thought it was good at all that stuff.
Well, tell them where you drove it, where we had it.
we had it in Geneva.
Tell them where else we had it.
We also had it in New York City. I mean,
that's
we've
probably fun.
driven that car. Yeah, we got a ticket in that car. By we, I mean he got a ticket in that car. I don't know. It's fine, but
Speeding ticket or a parking ticket?
Speeding ticket.
In New York?
On the way to Coney Island on the Belt Parkway. Yeah,
Really?
yeah in the McLaren.
yeah,
I've got a couple of speeding tickets in New York, but that's a whole nother conversation.
that
for
car is
later.
technically perfect. But I just don't get like a soul, a
Objectively
personality.
perfect.
It is
Objectively
perfect,
perfect.
but I don't need perfect. I like a
understand.
story. I like a personality.
Like your
It's-
fucking Lotus you just bought?
Yeah. See, now there's personality.
Let me know when you have a
There's-
couple of minutes,
yes.
and I will tell you the whole.
And I drove it
Lotus
this morning.
story.
It
Yeah.
looks. I just saw your picture.
Yeah.
And actually, I
Yeah.
remember you posted, Magnus, like a couple weeks ago. Like, who's got a first gen?
Yeah.
Like, I
Mm-hmm.
might want to buy. Did a fan reach out to you with this one to sell?
Do you want the Lotus story?
Yeah. Why
Okay.
not? I mean,
Yeah.
Let's
So-
go.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
get
yeah.
together.
The joy
Yeah.
of Instagram, for something I had my Bond moment, and to back up, I actually once did own a 73 Lotus Europa. I told you that story.
Yeah.
When we drove the Sharkworks GT2, if it makes from NorCal to SoCal, I'll buy it. So I'd always had a thing for Lotuses, and for some reason I saw a post of a Series 1 and just thought, wow, that car really is timeless. Looks better today than it did, when it came out in 76. So long story short, post
Looks
goes on
particularly
Instagram.
good
Yeah.
right now.
Looks
So-
sick.
That
it's
post
great.
went up on Instagram. This is about a month ago. I'm walking around New York. I get a message from a buddy of mine that says, dude, I found your car. It's on Bring a Trailer. There's 90 minutes to go. I didn't have a Bring a Trailer account. So, I'm iPhone trying to set up my Bring a Trailer account. It's not taking my credit card. My phone's about today. Long story short, I ended up winning the Bring a Trailer auction. Never even bothered to call the guy about the car.
Sight unseen.
Sight unseen.
Yes.
I've owned so many cars. How bad can it be? I always go into things with the same option of, expect the worst, hope for the best type of thing.
And
So-
how bad was it?
Well, the car comes off. Well, the moment the car came off the trailer and literally wouldn't go into gear, I thought, okay, there's a problem here. So I called the guy who listed it on Bring a Trailer, and of course he'd never had that problem.
Of course, I've never seen that
told
issue
me I just
before.
needed
That started
to be,
with you.
Yeah, I just needed to be real.
What'd you do to
sensitive,
it?
with
What'd
the
you do to
shifter.
it?
So of course we start looking around. We find out there's no clutch fluid in the reservoir, so that's why it wasn't going into gear.
The clutch
Yeah.
fluid just vanished.
Just vanished. There's a leak somewhere.
It just vanished
Just
somewhere
vanished.
In,
So-
in transit, huh?
Yeah, just vanished. So clutch fluid in. We go get clutch fluid. It will barely drive around the block. I happen to be filming something with a German TV show with my buddy, and the car almost died there and then. So I park it around that time, whenever that is, October 27th. And that white 928 there, I'd looked at that car probably a month before. English dude.
How
so
bad can it be?
Oh,
interestingly,
look, you predicted.
Yeah,
right?
how
how
bad
bad
can
can
it
it
be?
be?
Right.
That sounds like a challenge.
So
Yeah.
interestingly, the English guy calls me up and says, "Congratulations on the Lotus. By the way, my 928 is still for sale." And he dropped
this
the
one here.
Yeah, he dropped the price to $8,000.
That was $8,000.
Series 1, 79 Euro sunroof delete 5-speed manual.
How bad was
$8,000.
it?
This is on a Friday. Well, here's the great part of the
Wait,
story.
yeah.
This is on a Friday at 5 o'clock. I go, how about $7,500? You deliver it to downtown the next day. He delivered it to downtown the next day. Hannah and I drove that for the next
All weekend.
Weekend, probably put 500 miles on it. Not a single issue.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's $7,500 well spent.
Yeah.
Exact same year as the Lotus. So
I think we wouldn't have bought it if the Lotus had been
fantastic.
running.
No.
But the Lotus wasn't running,
we
so
still
what are you
need
going to do?
something to drive.
Yeah.
we needed something to
What are you
drive up
gonna
the
do?
crest, so we took the 928. So fast forward, yesterday Hannah and I come back from Portland. I'd had all the Lotus work taken care of whilst I was out of town traveling for the past 2-3 weeks. We get back. I'm all excited to go drive the Lotus up the crest yesterday. We're heading up the 2. All of a sudden, I've got fuel starvation. Feels like it's going to die on me. Feels like the carbs are sort of
boy.
jetted up or clogged up with some residue. So we bought the trip. We managed to make it back to downtown without dying. So I thought, we don't want to stall out on the freeway and then
Yeah,
wait
yeah.
for a tow truck at 5 on a Sunday. So we make it back to downtown LA. get out the car, take that photo, and then I go to try and get back in the car. Door won't, physically will not open. Won't open. So then I have to climb in through the passenger side, and there's no room in that car.
It was
to
real
begin
cute.
with.
It was real cute.
This shit is great.
It was
so
real
you know how
cute.
many emails I get people, because I'll talk about, like, occasionally on the show, I'll talk about, like, depression and stuff, and people will be like, man, I look at these people's, like, Instagrams, and I go, why can't I have a life like that? And I go, man, Instagram is a very edited version of people's life.
Extremely curated.
I'm not showing you where I'm climbing in.
No, you're
from
not
the
showing
passenger
this
side.
car.
It's
No.
the driver's side door.
This car
doesn't
looks
open.
beautiful with the sunset and everything, and
Yeah.
it looks like you're doing like a little Gene
Yeah.
Autry
Yeah.
like dance
It's
outside this
great
fucking-
looking. Yeah,
And it's like, oh, by the way, this car is completely fucked.
Does not run.
if you look real close, the deck lid doesn't close anymore. And
Oh
of course,
my God.
the funny part to the story is when I first got the car, there was a mild door issue, and the guy goes, "Yeah, we never had that until the tow truck driver picked it up. Just appeared. Like it always went into gear until there was no clutch fluid. But it's a journey. It's part of the process. Hannah
Yeah.
drove it.
It
She
has a
loved
personality. I like that.
Wait,
got
so it
character.
drives now?
Drives now.
Ish.
It drives.
Ish.
It actually
Yeah.
drives.
Yeah.
If
It
the
flies
carbs
out a
are not
couple-
clogged,
yeah.
it actually drives,
Yeah.
and it's relatively nimble and quick.
And so it's an NA 4-cylinder, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a 79 Series 2 with a Series 3 turbo bumper and spoiler with a 2-liter motor built out to a 2.2.
Interesting.
And it just needs better brakes because it doesn't stop good. You can't really heel and toe in it because of the pedal setup, but I'm going to work
Are
on
those
that.
wheels original wheels?
No,
No.
because that's running...
Those look big.
Yeah,
for
They
well,
are.
79.
And the back is a little
it's got a
bit
15
raised.
front, 16 rear. So the
Yeah.
originals were 14. So
Well,
it's...
at the very least, you'll be able to put brakes behind those things.
Yeah.
Because this shared a chassis with the DeLorean I had, which there was no way to get better brakes for them.
Okay.
They had, the
So
brakes
there's plenty
were
of room
horrible.
that because I was
Yeah.
joking with my buddy who suggested I should put an Alpha motor in it. So during it, Alpha, if you're out there listening, my reply back to him was, "No, I'm going to put a Subi motor in it."
Yeah,
which I think
or get
would
one of
actually
the,
be
get it,
awesome.
You know what you could do is a Toyota 2ZZ and a lease motor.
Yeah, well there you go.
Because
There you
then
go.
it's still like
Yeah,
Lotus-y,
yeah.
right?
That's cool.
But it
That's
could
cool.
work. It's still a
That's cool.
4-cylinder.
Yeah.
Those
I like
are
that.
around.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
you can get a 2ZZ for not much money.
So it's
That'd
the
be
beginning
fun.
of a love-hate
You're not
affair.
a
I
purist.
think.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a purist.
Was that your first Lotus? Hem?
Yeah.
Your first vintage
Yes.
one? Did you enjoy it?
I loved it. Yeah, I mean, but it's this car I feel like is a tease because it teases you into thinking it's going to be fun and great, and
looks
then
like it will
yeah,
be.
and you get the minute you get comfortable, boom, it's going to hit you.
Yeah.
boom. But yeah, this morning I loved it. I had
Have
a
you ever
great
driven
time.
a V8 one?
No.
A late Esprit?
No,
I would love
I
to,
thought
though.
about one of those, but no, not
They're
yet.
super weird.
I
They're
can
just
imagine.
they drive
Like
really strange.
sound wise or
No,
power
they
wise.
sound good and they have decent
I
power.
love how they sound.
What they're weird in that the two I've driven, the gas pedal was actually heavier than the brake pedal,
Oh,
which
nice.
is one of the
Fun.
strangest feelings.
Very weird.
And they have this 90s over boosted power steering with
Okay.
no feel at all. So
Nice.
I think you had the one.
This
But-
doesn't have any of
This
that. I
was
mean,
No, it's
super
got
fun.
nothing, right?
I mean, it's like
And
cranking
you guys
the
are
wheel
like
The
you're
wheels offset.
5'11" and
Yeah.
you're like 6'4", right? You're
Well,
tall, 6'3".
with his
Maybe
heels
with the
on.
derby on.
With his
Maybe
heels
with the
on.
derby on.
I mean, we do use the
And my
hats.
heels.
We cannot wear hats in that car.
Yeah, you
I
guys
mean,
you guys are a
we're
bit
super
tall
lanky.
for-
We're lanky. We're lanky.
That's going to
Yeah.
bring me up to the question I want to ask you, though.
Yeah.
The Countach.
The Countach.
Tell me about the Countach.
Oh my god! So
That's
I
that's
had the poster.
amazing.
Here's
Of
mine.
course.
I had I'm
Tell
of
me the
age.
story.
So I'm I had the poster for years, and obviously this is the game over kind of car.
Right.
I was not searching for Countaches.
It found you.
It found me. I actually made a video
That's how
with
you know
this
it's
very
right.
car 4 years ago.
Okay.
And the gentleman who was selling it asked if I knew anyone who wanted to buy it and 3 other cars he was selling. And
I
when
might
he-
have driven that car, I think. This guy lives in the valley?
It was Dave Houston's car.
Okay.
You know him? He's the Barney's Beanery guy. He owns all Barney's Beanery.
I have a photo of that car in my garage parked next to 277.
Really?
I actually drove that car a couple of years ago.
It was the bit of the village bicycle. The Johnny Lieberman drove it in Motor Trend Classic. I made a video with it. There's actually a Diddy video coming out
Cool.
where he's in it.
Sick.
It's been around.
I'm going to pull the photo, not now because it'll
I
take
would
too
love to
long,
get
but
a
of that
photo.
in the garage with next to 277
to.
because I've driven that
We
car.
need to have a
It's
photo
spectacular.
of the Lotus and this together.
Oh, I'd love
that
to.
would
Yeah,
actually be
they would
really
match
cool.
really nice.
I know.
Kinda do.
I know.
So
let's go back to the story.
This picture, it just got a fresh service with a clutch and a flywheel. It had the crazy valve job like 1,000 miles ago. I don't have to pay any of it. and I got it, and you know, when he told me I could have it,
How long ago was that?
like a month and a half ago, I just was like, okay, all right, this is scary because it's.
You said
by
yes
far-
straight away, right?
I said I have to figure out if I can afford it.
Okay.
Because I mean, barely can afford it. And I could barely afford it. And then it was just like, how do I make this happen? Because, you know, they made 607 QVs. How many of them?
What year is that? 88?
It's an 88, 87 build. And you go, how many of them are numbers matching? How many have never had paint or body work? How many are the right color? How many are, you know, when you narrow it down.
How many have parked next to 277 in the garage?
The answer is like fucking zero.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
I realized that the opportunity would probably not come up again to buy a car that I know the history of and all this shit. And it was the right car. And so
It would
I
be
bought
wrong
it.
to say no.
It would be a crime
Yeah.
to say no to a car like
Yeah.
this if you have.
So how is it?
It's fucking amazing. The air conditioning works.
No way.
It blows cold.
way.
It doesn't just work. It blows cold.
I remember the pedals are super awkward in
Tiny.
that car.
I have to take my shoes off.
Same in the Lotus. The Lotus
Yeah.
one's, it's like a ruler.
Yeah.
It's the width of a ruler,
Yeah.
basically,
And
a metal
there's
sheet.
A big,
yeah.
You know, there's a big wide front tire
Yeah.
there, so I have to, it's way offset, and I have to drive it barefoot.
Oh, that's cute.
And you know, the gear shift is a little clunky.
It's like truck-like, I seem to recall that thing.
Truck like wouldn't be out of the question.
Yeah.
Once it's all warm and everything's
Yeah,
okay,
warmed
it
up.
gets better. You know,
How does the engine sound?
fucking amazing. So that is it's got an Albertoni exhaust on it from the late '80s. It does not have cats.
Mm-hmm.
It is so loud,
Yeah.
and it idles at like 1,500
Amazing.
RPM.
Everyone knows you're coming.
Fuck.
Everyone knows
Amazing.
you're, yeah.
And
Yeah.
no one ever the amount of double takes, because even in a
That's-
town full of Lambos, like nobody ever expects to actually just see a
New
Cougar.
Like, 'cause
Lambos
they don't drive
blend
those.
in. Old Lambos like that, they
it's
don't blend in.
I parked it at Whole Foods, and I mean, I literally, jaws were
Yeah,
dropping.
that's cool.
You know, it was crazy. And
Where have you
it's so
taken it
fun.
except the gym and Whole Foods? Have you gone up the crest?
Honestly, I took it to the gym in Whole Foods, and then I went out of town. I just got home. So
Okay,
tomorrow,
Yeah.
I'm going.
Where are you
out
going
of it.
tomorrow? Just in case I want to follow you.
You know, PCH has been closed,
Yeah.
and so I'm gonna go.
You're going
to
to PCH?
Bill's Malibu Kitchen and
Oh,
have
cool.
myself a sandwich and enjoy the Countach a bit tomorrow. I'm very excited.
So you're in love with it.
It's so fucking cool, dude. And every time
How is it backing up? So I remember
Terrible.
trying to
It's
back
the
that
worst.
thing up
No,
into
it's
the
worst.
garage.
Yeah,
It was
it's
like,
stupid. It's stupid.
this is not easy.
Every time I just open the garage and go in and just see it there, I go, oh shit.
They smell good.
Yeah, it's got original interior.
Yeah.
It's never been. It has the Alpine CD player. It's
He's
never
got
been
a
fucking-
couple of other cool cars. That guy.
super cool
Yeah.
cars. He's got a couple cool Porsches. He's got
Yeah.
a short wheelbase 66 or something like that.
Probably they all look the same.
Yeah, and he's got an 83 or 84 Targa with like no miles on it. He's got a 308. He's got
What year is the 308? I used to own one of those.
early-ish, but not fiberglass.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's got low miles. It's lovely. Yeah, this is if you're gonna buy a high dollar car, this is the guy
This
you
is the
want
guy
to
you
buy it from. Yeah, because he just spares no expense on the maintenance.
Let's
He
see
buys
some more
the-
photos of it.
He buys the right example
Here we go.
Yeah.
That's the shot with the flip flops.
with the
as
flip
well.
flops. Look, he's
Wow.
got the flip flops.
Yeah.
And
Look how low that is.
it's
I mean,
so low.
that's
and
on your waist.
How
That's
do you
waist
feel
level.
in it physically? How do you
It's
feel in it?
okay. Here's me at
Ergonomically.
Whole Foods.
Nice.
with
I like that.
We get it.
That's real life.
There's-
That's
yeah,
real
wait,
life.
And if I scroll back, there's the picture from the GQ magazine shoot. This is when they get
Ooh,
all artsy
ooh,
with it.
ooh.
That's how it is. It's crazy
Yeah.
low. I mean, I'm driving this new Genesis thing, and the roof of it is below
Yeah.
the door line.
The
Genesis.
G70?
Yeah.
Is that what I just had
Yeah.
that in New York too.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I've driven it just for like a few hours
for
but
the
it's-
money.
I'm shocked. At
Yeah.
how
Isn't
nice
that the
it is.
Motor Trend Car of the Year along with the Volvo?
Nominated.
Oh,
nominated.
There you go. That's
Not
another
winner
conversation.
yet.
It's the best midsize sedan I've driven in quite some time.
Yeah, but the problem is Genesis isn't selling anything.
Well,
Like
they
anything.
should have done this brand
All right.
thing forever
Right.
ago. Like just copy Toyota.
Right.
Just split it off and they should
I
have done
mean,
this 5 years ago.
And the
Time
other
is
thing
everything.
too is it's an SUV market. 100%.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
if
yeah.
you're trying to, no matter how good the sedan is,
When
it's
they make a
SUVs and
crossover
trucks.
version of this thing, that'll probably be
Yeah,
good.
hopefully it's
Eventually.
not too late.
Eventually.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
That leads me up to my favorite topic, right? America's #1 selling vehicle. What is it? The F-150 pickup
F-150.
truck?
For like,
probably right.
yeah, almost 40 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. If you,
Yeah.
why you
whispering?
guys have done a lot.
Why are you whispering?
You guys have
'Cause
done a
it's
lot of traveling.
creepy.
And when you leave Los Angeles, how many F-150s and pickup trucks,
They're all
full
over.
size SUVs do you see?
Well, let me tell you, we were just in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and
That's
it's
where I bought the Derby, by the way.
every
How was it?
vehicle is a truck,
It was awesome.
maybe even a dually. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
they're very
I
prominent.
have a friend
Yeah.
with a dually in LA, and whenever I see him pull up in Los Angeles, he looks ridiculous.
Yeah, it's kind of a caricature of a car.
How was Jackson Hole?
It was cool.
Amazing.
It was
I
great.
Is
We're
this
there-
Jackson Hole right here?
No, that's Portland.
Oh, I'm trying
Yeah.
to find your.
We're just in
Yeah,
Portland.
it's a little bit
It's a long
farther
way
back.
down.
It's that was the Rolls Royce Cullinan.
Oh, talk
Oh,
about
is that what it was?
lawn.
Did you go on that as well?
Yeah,
I
which
tagged
makes
along.
it's
Real Britannia.
very interesting because at first you're like, what does
That's
Rolls
it,
Royce
right?
have
Like,
to do
go
with
down one,
Jackson
scroll
Hole?
through.
But then if you remember, okay, Harrison Ford lives here. The leader of the World Bank lives here. They've
Jackson
got.
Hole's fully
That's
baller.
It
Killer
is.
shot right
All of these are those are Jackson Hole.
It's
That's
fully
Jackson Hole.
baller.
Yeah.
It is
Big
full on.
Did you guys?
Yeah.
Didn't you do some like proper off-roading with this thing? Or was it?
Yeah, we went actually on the steepest ski slope in North America.
Oh, they had you drive up ski.
We
slope?
drove
yeah.
up it, yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was actually
for
pretty
for
cool.
real. It was
That's pretty
actually
baller.
Pretty cool.
so
That's a
it
good
was.
thought.
Yeah.
I don't think the SUV doesn't photograph very well.
I've seen them in person. They're quite striking.
It's striking.
Yeah.
It is what it
Striking
is.
is the word.
You're gonna either
Not
love it or
pretty.
hate it. It doesn't make any
Polarizing.
apologies. It says what it is, and it was incredible off road. Compared to I've driven the Bentayga off road.
Yeah.
I've driven all the
we
Land
went
Rovers.
off-roading in Bentayga.
Exactly.
We blew a tire on
Exactly.
the top of the mountain. Had to go down on
Well,
a donut.
there you go.
Uh-oh.
That's
No,
not a
but
good look.
You know what they've done? Here's what they've done. They have kept this really long
From the
nose.
Phantom. From the
Right,
Phantom.
Right. The Bentayga
Yes.
shares those
It's
hard
rounded.
points with the Q7
Yes.
and so
Yes.
you can't create that luxury
That's exactly
swept
right.
back look. They've done that.
This is what you would call stately.
It
In
is
every way.
stately.
And literally when you're driving it, you are eye to eye with every other pickup truck
Yeah.
and dually and huge
Do
SUV.
they have? Are they gonna? I can't wait till
It's
they
a
have.
big
Oh, they
car.
have Starfield ceiling. Have you
Yeah,
seen?
yeah,
Did
yeah.
they
It's
pitch at?
crazy.
They have a shooting star option now, right? Have you seen this?
Shooting star.
They have an option for the ceiling where you can get
I
a
love
shooting
that.
star on the crazy
Makes
ceiling.
perfect sense.
I mean, I do know, if you're a Scorpio, for instance, you can get the Scorpio constellation,
Yeah.
bespoke
Well, they'll do any
into your
part of
ceiling.
the
Yeah,
sky you want, right?
anyone they want. I kind of love
You
it.
can
I mean,
pick your
it's
star sign.
yeah, it's marketing, but it's kind of cool. I like
No,
it.
but it's great. And how
Yeah.
much is this thing? 450, 400.
Yeah, I mean, I think it starts around 400, but also I know nobody buys a Rolls Royce and doesn't customize it. So you got to
Each one's gotta
imagine
be
that each
unique.
one is closer to $500,000.
I'm sorry. It just occurred to me that I was
Yeah.
doing a bad job producing, and if these pictures didn't make it into the feed earlier, I am sorry
Oh,
because I was distracted in the
Multitasking.
conversation. I'm trying to multitask. Sometimes if you don't click hard enough, shit doesn't transfer.
This is what I'm trying to figure out, though. As you're multitasking, who's going to go to the bar and refresh our drinks?
It's at your floor. It's at the floor,
what,
sir.
What your drinks?
Oh,
I could do
Hannah
that for
is.
you. I could do that for you.
You
I
can.
could do that for you. Come on.
I'm
here to
actually. I
assist.
really want to drive the Cullinan. I'm super excited about it.
I think you're going to like it. I mean, I was driving it thinking, no one's going to believe me when I say it's good. No one's going to believe me when I say it's better than pretty much everything I've driven off road.
On the road, does it drive like a Phantom?
Yes.
That's
It's
perfect.
smooth.
Yes.
That's what
And
you
You
don't
don't
I
hear
drove the
anything.
Phantom
It's so insulated.
in Switzerland.
It's like yachting, right?
Yeah, it's like
Yes.
you're gliding.
Sailing.
I mean, it's a magic carpet ride. It's eerily quiet. All I could hear were bugs hitting the windshield, which
You know
I wanted
what's really
to say.
surprising
Yeah.
when you drive the Dawn and
Yes.
with the convertible, and
I know.
that's super insulated. You go,
I know.
why is this a convertible and it's so
I
quiet?
always ask about that. I mean, of course, you have the like triple pane glass, but they also say
the top's like 7 layers.
The
or something.
top
It's
is
pretty
7
thick.
layers, and the wheels are filled with this special foam.
tires are.
That's like
You got custom
the
tires with
tires
foam.
are
Really?
noise
Yeah, so there's no
canceling
road
foam.
vibration.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Foam?
yeah. It's
I
foam.
didn't-
It's
never
foam
heard that
inside the wheels.
So what
Yeah.
happens if you put like air in them? Does that fuck them up?
I think
Does that make
so.
it worse?
Yeah, because in Wyoming,
putting diesel in
they
a
were
gas
on
car.
these special Pirelli wheels, and we're like, can we get like all road or winter tires? And they're like, we're not sure yet.
Really?
We're not sure. This is what that comes with, and
That's
maybe
funny.
later we'll see.
Foam?
Yeah. Yes.
What is it? Tire? Is it like Bugatti?
I
Where they have
don't-
to
I
send
mean,
the
I don't-
wheels back
Probably.
to
Yeah.
England?
Probably.
But yes. Yes.
Have you
It
ever
is
seen
surprisingly quiet, though. There is
I mean,
no
it's
road,
weird. It's
road,
weird how-
vibration.
I would
Yeah.
be surprised, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait till
Great.
fucking rappers put rims on them.
Oh,
And just
yeah.
Oh, you
ruin
know.
it.
And of
Ruin
course,
them.
the doors open. It's a little bit awkward at first because they open like carriage doors
Yeah.
on an SUV.
Suicide, yeah.
Exactly. Well, you know, Rolls-Royce doesn't like it if you say suicide, but yes, that's what
What?
they are.
Someone
I
I think someone opens the door
They
for
haven't
you generally,
embraced
though, right?
suicide?
Generally, no, they are not embracing. It's carriage. They
At
will
least not in
correct
a
you
Rolls-Royce.
every
Horseshit.
time. They will also correct you if you just say Rolls. They'll say no.
It's Rolls-Royce.
It's Rolls-Royce. It was two
Fuck
men.
outta here.
It
Come
was
on,
two
Rule
men.
Britannia.
It was
Come on,
two
Rule
men.
Britannia here.
Anyway, yeah. I mean, it's
Considering who
slightly.
their target audience is, listen, embrace the bouge. Embrace
I mean,
the
I
bouge.
like it. I'm into it. Yeah.
I think it looks rad.
Me-
They were running the, you know, I live, where I live in Venice is right on BMW's like fuel economy
Cool.
route. And so I saw them every day at 4:30 running the camo prototype around.
That's cool.
And even in camo, I was like, oh, this
Yeah.
shit looks pretty rad.
Yeah.
It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean-
can't wait till they do the gun rack with the bar, you know,
yeah,
in the
yeah.
back, like proper. Who's is it?
Champagne dispensary.
mini
Who's
bar.
in England? Who Overfinch? Is that who does it on the Range
Yes.
Rover?
Yeah.
In
It's
fact, I
Overfinch,
just
right?
talked with their CEO. Yeah, he'll do
With
that.
Overfinch?
Yeah. He's
That
great.
shit
I
is
kind of
cool.
like him. Yeah.
I like what Overfinch is doing.
Me too.
I bet they have.
Here we go.
They're
Let's
about
see.
they're about to come out with a continuation type car next year.
This is a
Is
whole
it going to be an
buzzword,
old? It's going to be the old
continuation.
Range Rover,
Yeah.
right? It's going to
Yeah.
be the old. Yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
Look, they've even got like parts of it
Yeah.
on their website
Yeah.
right here. Look at this guy
That's
mobbing
coming.
this old
That
Range
is
Rover.
coming.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine in 2018 driving an old Range Rover this fast in the
Yeah.
wet? Like, no.
I mean, the people who buy this are serious.
I feel like Magnus, you're gonna have one of these old Ranges.
I've never
pretty
owned
soon.
one, but these guys are based in Yorkshire, so
Yeah.
I do relate to that as it's where I'm from.
I saw on your Instagram you just went back to visit your mom and drive your
Well,
like
that
first
was so
car. Right? It was
good.
very cute.
Not my first car, because I never owned a car in England.
Your first turbo?
No. The infamous story about the car that I fell in love with Porsche through the White Martini Turbo from 1977.
I saw it earlier. Here it is.
That car. So that's a model
That's
of
a
it.
model of it. Wait,
So
you
if
have the
go,
actual.
Go back, go up, all the way down. Slow, you roll. There you go.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is the very car that I started my love affair with Porsche back in 1977. I went to the London Old Court Motor Show as a 10-year-old. And last year when my book came out in England, I did a book sign at the Porsche Centre in London. And that car was brought along. So I actually saw the car a year ago, kept in contact with the owner. And then I'm doing a video with Porsche for their 911 magazine, the YouTube channel one, where it's 9 minutes, 11 seconds. So I'm telling my same story.
Boy,
but
they really milked this the numbers
Yeah.
thing.
Very
so
important.
With
they've
the
got a
numbers
channel
of the
called
speedster,
911. It's 9 minutes, 11 seconds long.
Every video is 9 minutes and 11 seconds.
It's a show, and there's 3 videos within the show about enthusiasts sharing their Porsche stories.
okay,
So each
cool.
segment is 2-3 minutes. So the cool thing about this is that was the car that started my love affair with Porsche. And I actually went back to my hometown of Sheffield and even went back to the old house that I lived in as a 18, 19-year-old and did something I'd never done in England or never did in Sheffield, drive a Porsche. So it was like full circle. I saw that car 41 years ago, and I finally got to drive it.
That's amazing. That's like me buying my Countach kind
Yeah.
of.
That's
you know,
cool.
I had you had the poster and it's fun.
That's
And then
cool.
now it's in the garage.
Well,
Same
I
kind
tell
of
the
thing.
story all the time about any kid growing up anywhere in the 70s or 80s. Chances are you had a poster of a White Martini Turbo, a Lamborghini Countach, or a 512 Berlinetta Boxster.
Yeah.
So that was the exact car that
Or a
started my
TR
love
if you're
affair.
my age, a TR.
Yeah.
You got a couple years on me, but if you're
For
my
sure.
age, a TR.
But those were the 3, right? Lamborghini,
Yeah.
Porsche, and Ferrari. So to actually drive the exact car,
Oh, here's your crib.
that's
right?
the last house
Yes.
I lived in
Yeah.
in England. I left that house in 1987 and moved to America.
It's charming, but
So-
your house now is
And
better.
can you tell
So,
the story
Click
of
the
the
next
kid?
one. That's me and my mum.
Yeah.
That's my old living room where my mum's going through the photo album. I'm like, strumming chords. That's me with my little car there on the old steps, and that is the car.
Is that a factory painted car?
Yeah, factory
Neat.
painted car, and that was the show car. So the LA Auto Show's coming up. That's
That's a
kind
big dollar car.
yeah,
Yeah.
Probably, right?
yeah, for sure.
Ooh,
Probably.
Or
show-
at least the guy thinks.
If
it
you
is.
go to mine, you can see the interior. If you scroll down, it's
crazy, red, white, and blue interior.
It's
Actually,
beautiful.
go
It's
up.
got these
Go-
side
I
side
think go up,
martini
yeah.
stripes and
It's an iconic
it's
car.
very striking. There it is, right there.
Oh my
is-
God.
Isn't that
Really?
insane?
Factory
I know.
interior.
All right, so
That's
the interior
factory.
is white
Yeah.
seats with red seat backs and blue like thigh pads and a
And red carpet.
and a blue dash.
Yeah.
And that's all leather.
Do you know that Michael Fuchs guy? This is
Yes.
a Michael Fuchs
Yeah,
car.
Yes, totally.
100%.
Yes.
That's a nutty interior. Dude.
Yeah, for sure it is.
Are those cushions is that a standard seat? What's up with
Well,
that
that's
seat?
a
That looks weird.
That's a Dr. Furman seat, so that's real similar to the seat in the 928. They
What is
were
a Dr. Furman seat?
one of those German guys, everyone's a doctor over there. So it's the non-sport seat, non-standard seat, pretty rare seat. Came as an option in the turbo, and it's pretty similar to the 928 seats, believe it or not. But looks completely different in red, white, and blue,
That's
right?
an ugly seat. I'm sorry.
But that is.
It's so bad, it's good.
Yeah.
At first, I got it and I was like, "Oh, this is horrible," and then I was like, "But it's kind of cool."
If I wanted to be a little more delicate, I'd say that's so of the period.
Yeah.
Yes,
but I could
that's
also
nice.
say it's hideous.
That's
It's
nice.
period correct.
It's horrible and amazing at the same time.
I mean, look, I'm not one to talk interior.
got
No,
a
you know.
Countach.
Well, if you saw the interior of my 911,
Yeah, I've seen it. That's
it's
pretty
those
wacky.
city bus
Yeah.
fabric. It's fucking
Nice.
crazy.
Where'd you get that fabric from? I know Lee sourced it, but
Lee sourced it from a commercial bus supplier.
Okay.
Yeah, he wouldn't actually tell me.
Oh.
Lee
Maybe
is
better,
really
you don't
picky
know.
about certain things.
Okay.
And one of the things is
Where he sources
will
his
not
interior
tell
fabric.
anyone where he buys
Yeah.
the fucking fabrics. He's really
Smart guy.
He's really picky about certain things with the builds. Like for one, he wouldn't let me keep the stock mirrors. He it has these sort of tight rally mirrors like you'd find on the SCRS. And okay, if you're sailing the car through the woods, this makes sense. And I go, Lee, these mirrors suck. I can't see. Can we just leave the stock mirrors and mine will be like a desert rally car
with the flag mirrors?
Yeah, and he goes, no, it's part of the build.
Part
We
of
got to
it.
do it. And I go,
You don't need to
okay.
look behind.
And now when I parallel park or change lanes, I'm just like, fuck.
yeah.
That
say a prayer.
and he won't tell anybody where the fabric comes from.
How is parallel parking in the Countach?
I haven't tried it yet.
That's telling. That's telling.
I have a sort of a semi sponsorship deal with Clarion,
Okay.
and they have been they're like, oh, dude, let us do.
They're going to
something.
come and park it for you?
Well, no, but they offered to hook up a backup camera that goes into the rear view mirror. So when you put it in reverse, the whole rear view mirror turns into a backup camera.
Okay.
Which I was like, as long as it's reversible, it's got to be reversible.
For
but
sure.
but I'm considering that. But I've tried to do the sill thing. Everyone says,
Yeah,
you
just
get
sit on the sill, leave the door open.
That's just hard. That's that's really hard.
You got to do yoga and Pilates.
It's like a
before you
yoga
get in.
move. Yeah,
It's really
Wow,
difficult.
uh-huh.
You gotta.
Yeah.
It's easier for me to like just lean, way out.
That's
of the
like me
car.
climbing
It's
into
emotional.
the Lotus yesterday in the dark through the passenger side because the driver's side door didn't open.
passenger side.
This
Let
is
me
the
tell
struggle
you,
is real.
the
The
struggle
struggle
is
is real.
Wait, I also saw.
is not glamour.
Hannah, on your
Yeah.
Instagram, there's a picture of DeLorean. Did you drive that thing, or did you just stand next to it for this picture?
That was a standing next to it. Although I have driven that car at the factory in Houston.
Oh, you had
yes.
Steve Wynn?
Yeah, exactly.
He's my homie. I love that
really?
guy. He's the sweetest man ever, yeah.
It was great. I mean, another car that's like kind of a momentum car. But really fun, and I do like how it looks.
Oh,
And-
they look great.
yeah.
Well, I
So-
had one and I sold
Yes,
it, and now I
yes.
have a painting of one.
Do you miss it?
No, because I have
Yes.
the painting,
Yeah,
so I can
sure.
still look at it.
Okay.
I've got an awesome photo
yeah.
of your car in the LA Convention Center at the LA
yeah.
Auto Show, parked in a handicap spot.
Oh, that's good.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Don't tell no one about
they
that.
parked it when we shared when we were at the hotel in Pebble Beach, 2014, and they parked 277 and the DeLorean
There
and
you
my
go.
DeLorean next to each
Some
other.
old history.
We had a little, yeah.
Do you
And
miss
see,
that car or not?
I miss
DeLorean.
looking at it.
Yeah.
And this one
Yeah.
that Hannah has here, this has the Euro spec
Yeah.
suspension, so it's
Yeah.
sitting at the correct
Lower,
ride
right.
height and it looks really good.
Yeah.
The problem with the DeLorean is it's not good in the city and it's not good in the canyons. It's good at like a nice chill cruise. Like if you lived in
Yeah.
Ohio, it'd be good at
it's
that.
very suburban.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not good in the grid and
You
it's
didn't
not
want to
good
move
in
to
the canyons.
Ohio just to enjoy the DeLorean?
I did to vote red, but
Yeah.
then I bailed because
No, I mean, You can't fault it. It is what it is. I don't hate it, but like you can't expect it to be something that it's not.
No, and if I had Magnus's amount of space, I would have.
Dude,
it's really cool.
Dude, you're building a car storage facility.
I am, but that's
you got more than
I sold the
space.
car 2 years ago. I didn't, in the interim, it was a problem.
It's really nice to look at.
Yeah, and if I had a lot of space, I happily would have looked at it for 11 months of the year and driven it twice a year, and it would have been fun.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
That sounds like my old E-Type Jag story.
Yeah.
How was that to own? Same?
Same. It was a car I bought in 94, kept it to 2011 when it was the 50th anniversary. Everybody loved it. It looked great. It just didn't drive great.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, I still like them. I'm a Jag fan. I'm actually chasing a Series 1 XJS manual coupe, which seems impossible to find in America. It doesn't really exist.
But only...
You always see ropey convertible automatics. You don't see a Series 1 manual coupe from 75.
Could you make one if you wanted?
I've got a sort of a little thing that's brewing up here with a British car that's going to be a future build of mine that's a non-Porsche Outlaw build. So
I feel like there's a crashed F-Type somewhere just begging to be taken apart.
Well, we do like that car.
XJS.
You know, we came down the 405 behind one. It was like, is that a Aston or no? It's an F-Type Jag.
They're
That's
good.
a pretty nice car.
My mother's got one, actually.
Oh, really?
My mother has a V6S coupe in British Racing Green over
That's cool.
It's spectacular.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Hannah and I just did this great drive. I bootlegged her trip with Jag, and it was a 50th anniversary of the XJ from the factory in Coventry to the Paris Auto Show.
I bet that was great.
This was good, and they were very smart to do it this way because you're thinking, okay, an XJ sedan, not that exciting a car. But then when you add every previous generation before
you got to drive all of
them?
All of them.
From 68
England,
all the way through.
Driving to Paris, ending at the Arc de Triomphe before the Paris Auto Show. They did it
That sounds
such a perfect way.
So which was the best one?
Well...
I mean, I know a lot of them are just fucking
75
old.
XJ Coupe,
yeah,
two-door.
Look at this
we were in the
steering wheel.
Daimlers. Yeah,
Oh boy,
yeah.
that's steering
Right-hand
wheel.
drive right there, RHD.
Yeah.
I hate two-spoke steering wheels.
Really?
Doesn't your Lotus have a two-spoke? Does your Lotus have a two-spoke?
No, it's got a Momo wheel on it.
Oh, okay.
It's got a
Cool.
Momo
I think
on it.
stock might have been a
Yeah,
two-spoke.
for sure, yeah.
I don't know
Unless you're
what they-
drifting. Drift guys love two-spoke
They
wheels.
do with the two spokes, and the rally guys like the two spokes. I don't like the two spokes.
Walter
The Daimler
Rolex,
Jag is very funny.
Stately.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Wait,
it's
for those who
actually
don't
hilarious.
know what a Daimler Jag is, will you describe what a Daimler
So,
Jag is while I go get the bottle of Blanton's?
Yeah, basically, in general, Daimler was the performance/premium brand that Jaguar had.
I think it's Daimler, but it's like Porsche, tomato, but
I say
if you're in England, it's Daimler. If you're American,
he
it's
talks
Daimler.
funny.
But
I
you
say
are right.
Daimler because I'm American. Anyway, this was Jaguar's
Porsche.
premium brand for some time, produced under the Jaguar brand.
But it's an XJ. It's an XJ.
Yeah, but
that
it is
just has
still
Daimler
yes.
badges
It
on
happens to have a D
Little
on the
more
steering wheel,
luxurious.
but it actually is a Jag. But you have to kind of know.
220.
Yeah, so we went to their
Museum.
historic
center.
place in Coventry, which was really cool. I mean, they had us at Lamont. They had us at
Goodwood. Drove some
Goodwood.
laps at
They had
Goodwood.
us. They did such a great job of making a not
guys have been on
especially
some
exciting
camp-ass
sedan.
press trips.
Yeah,
That looks like a
yeah.
Jag.
V12.
V12
Yeah.
automatic.
Exactly.
Nice
Yeah,
wheels
it was.
there, Rach.
Thanks. They did a great job.
I love that.
Yeah.
Why are you not clicking over? Something is happening with my Switch.
Uh-oh.
Auto Live is
Oh,
enabled.
here we go.
I'm
Learning
sorry.
how to do a podcast
Listen,
here.
folks, I just had to update Wirecast because of this new stupid OSX Mojave thing, and it's not clicking over as fast as I want, and I am sorry if I miss it, but I'm engaged in conversation and Blanton's.
You're in the moment.
You see.
Yeah. Multitasking.
Yes. Thank you.
Conversating.
Have you been over to Don Law Racing yet in England? You know Don Law?
Yeah, I've not been there.
He's the guy who maintains all the 220s.
Uh-huh.
And he's got that XJ 220 super van, the Ford Transit
Oh, with
van
the
that
XJ
was
motor on
the
it.
with an XJ motor in the middle.
Yeah. Mid-engine, smart move.
That's a visit worth making.
Yeah. That's an iconic car, the XJ.
Wait, so what was your favorite XJ though?
H?
What's H? Which one's
That's
H?
H
me.
for Anna.
That's me.
Oh.
Go down. Let's see. I don't know if I put up a photo of it or not.
Whilst Hannah decides, mine is the XJ Coupe, the two-door.
Probably.
Oh,
I mean,
C.
probably.
Nothing is cooler than the XJC.
Yeah, that's probably accurate. I mean, I kind of like
The new one's awesome, the 575, because it's a hooligan car.
Yeah. No, that XJC though is
Awesome.
lovely. Is
Love
that what
style.
this
Yeah.
is? This photo. Henry
Beautiful.
Catchpole's got one of those.
He's a
that
nice
he's done
guy.
some modifications to that apparently is very good.
Well, they use those as the touring cars in the 70s. If you've seen those,
I have. They look
that's
rad.
an awesome build.
By the way, Hannah, in this
Yes.
photo, I love
Yes.
your coat.
Oh, thanks. It was my mom's
I
from the
love
80s.
I love long coats.
Thank you. Me too. You can swish around really nicely.
Yeah,
The,
touring car. There you go.
The XJC.
Yeah.
Oh my
there you go.
God.
That's
look
what
at
you told
that.
me.
This was not on the drive.
That is.
We
a
drove the street
sexy-
version.
We drove. Yeah, I was.
This shit
This
is
is
wide
this
body
one
with
was
an
not
air
on
dam.
the.
Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
rowdy. That
Remember
looks
I was saying
so
a few
good.
minutes ago about wanting to do something that wasn't a Porsche build, but was
Yeah.
an English car?
Oh look,
It
here's
was.
one.
I was going to
here's
say it was
one in-
closer.
That's from the
closer
I
to
think from
that.
the Avengers. That's pretty
Was
awesome.
that in the Avengers?
I think so. Yeah.
Wow. I gotta
That's
watch
a
more
pretty
comic
awesome.
book
Yeah, you
movies.
do. And then look at the XJS right
Here's
there.
an
Click that
XJ
one.
here's
How
an
cool is that?
Yeah, well, Walken
Personally,
Shaw
I
did
like
those
those. I think those are
XJRs,
good.
right?
Yeah.
There are very cool Jaguar race cars.
Yeah, for
XJR
sure.
15s. Those are killer.
They should bring
They're
back the
kinda cool.
XJ13. I mean, they were racing
What's the
XJ1.
13?
Just Google it, XJ13.
What
I
is
have
the
to say, too, like-
XJ13? Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
That's the
That's like-
XJ13.
Yeah. That's like
There
the
you go.
mid-engine one.
They only ever built two. One crashed and the other one sort of mysteriously disappeared.
What year is this from?
You've got me-
60s, you think?
Yeah, just hit the Wikipedia there. We're going to find out.
I think was this mid 1960s to compete at Le Mans?
Never race and only one
Yeah,
was produced.
probably to go against the Ferrari
Yeah.
250 LM, right?
Right. How great looking
God
is that?
damn,
car?
is that hot?
Someone
Oh my
needs to
God.
do a
Hey,
continuation of that.
If you are at home, it looks a lot like a Ferrari 250 LM, but with like a D-type nose and a speedster windshield and roof. And
That's pretty well
is this
described.
it from the back? Oh,
Oh,
man.
there you go. Boom.
Wow.
The rear window looks like the front window of the Jim Glickenhaus P45.
Yeah.
Like it looks like a prototype racer's front
Hannah
windshield.
just did an article.
Yeah,
on
we
the
just did a
Jim
story with
Glickenhaus,
him.
actually.
Oh, you went to Jim's garage, right?
I didn't.
Did you-
I didn't go to his garage. I just spoke with him about
Interesting
all
guy,
of
right?
his mini projects he has going on.
That guy knows
which-
how to spend money, huh?
Yes, he does.
Well, he has it,
It's
right?
remarkable. But his dad was the real,
I know,
the
his dad
real
was a baller.
dude. I mean, I had no idea until I started researching for the story. His dad was
His dad was a real
Seth,
heavy hitter.
Seth,
Yeah.
in
What's the
every
story
way,
with
and
his
lived
dad?
to almost
He
100.
was like a titan of
financier,
industry.
New York financier, made a ton of money.
Not to impugn Jimmy's success.
Oh,
'cause he had his own success.
Oh, of
Yeah.
course,
Shitty
of
horror
course.
movies.
Yeah.
No, of course.
You call him Jimmy?
Yeah.
Well, so I call him Jimmy G
Okay.
because I'm from his town.
Oh.
I'm
Yeah.
from Rye.
Oh,
So-
you get to do that.
So my
Yeah.
Glickenhaus
East Coast
story
thing.
is
Yeah.
I went to Rye Country Day School, and every
Jesse,
Country Day
was
School.
Jesse there?
with Jesse.
Yeah.
No, Jesse went to Rye High. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Jesse went to Rye High.
Okay.
But every day driving to school, I would drive past the Rye train station. And every day there was a black 1985 Flying Mirror TR parked
Wow.
in the train station parking lot that would be there every day. And usually it'd be in the same spot. And just when I thought the car was like abandoned, it would move. It would be in a different spot the next day. Like rain, snow, you fucking.
So you
name
know
it.
it's running.
It turns out this was his train station commuter car for
to
like
go into
almost
the
20
city.
years.
Okay.
And eventually the whole unibody rusted away and he had to literally throw the car away. I didn't find out who this guy was until much later. But it was the guy who had a Testarossa as a train station car.
Whoa,
His
interesting.
train station car now, he still takes the train to the city, is the VIN number 1 Alpha 8C Competizione.
Whoa.
And he parks in
Amazing.
the same spot at the
Amazing.
Rye
I love
train
it.
station every
That's
day.
legit.
So
And the
East
license
Coast.
plate
Yeah.
is USA
Yeah.
001.
Let's see that car.
Yeah.
Pull that car up.
Look, I'm just
Multitasking.
going to look up the license plate. USA 001. Wait.
No.
Oh, here it is. Look.
Okay.
This photograph is it's a shitty photograph here, but this photograph is at the Rye train station. Here's all the trucks and shit going by, and here's Jimmy G's.
It's amazing what you can find with Google.
Right? You just Google license plate number, and there it is.
He has
But-
He has the original Steve McQueen Baja boot.
Yeah,
I mean, he has some serious stuff.
But I actually think the coolest thing, he has a Lola T70 that
Wow.
raced at Le Mans that he put a radio and air conditioning in, and he
Street
street
car.
drives it. It's got
Yeah.
about 40,000 road miles
Props
on
to
it.
them.
I support that.
that's
You got to
good.
drive
Good
it.
answer.
Yeah.
And so here's another funny anecdote. My first cameraman, Gene Sanchez, was like obsessed with this dude and everything he did. He ended up marrying his daughter.
Whoa.
He married Jim's daughter.
Whoa.
I wonder how
And
the
now-
daughter feels about this.
They have a kid, so I hope she's
She
all right
feels
with
pretty
it.
She's in
well, I
it.
guess.
She's in it. Yeah. She's in it.
Wait, so did you get the detailed analysis of the new car, this 004 thing he's doing?
Yes, in his way, which
Uh-huh.
is kind of like a tornado of information coming at you at one time.
These are the renderings of it. It looks
yeah.
interesting.
I think it looks awesome. I mean,
Does look
he
cool.
told me they're starting production next year.
It's crazy. He bought a factory in
They
Danbury.
just bought a factory in
Connecticut?
Connecticut.
Yeah, Connecticut.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta like
And they
that.
still have the one in Italy, of course, and then they're doing stuff in California too. So
Yeah, and then here's the SCG 003, which
Exactly.
is real. It just raced.
which is
just
the
finished
racing.
the 24 hour. I think.
Exactly. I mean, he
Nürburgring.
was saying
Was it Nürburgring 24? No, it was a different 24 hour race. They just finished.
he was saying next year he thinks it's possible to win the Nürburgring with that car. I mean, at least you have to believe that.
I mean, of course he does.
I think
He's-
that's
Yeah.
the perfect segue for my how important is a Nürburgring lap time?
to me, not.
How important is a Nürburgring lap time to the general public and car manufacturers? Because they all seem to be, talking about it.
You know,
doing it.
we had such an interesting conversation. Camisa, Jason Camisa.
No, but no.
No, boy, I'm trying to find this thing. So Jason Camisa came in here, and oh boy, I'm trying to do this thing, and it's all fucked up. He came in here, and he basically just shit all over all numerical testing in
Right.
car magazines because
Uncontrollable.
the issue is that to get a good acceleration test, the kind that you would brag about in a forum, you have to be so abusive to your car that nobody would ever be that abusive.
right.
Even if you
No
think
one.
you're launching
Yeah.
your car hard,
Yeah.
you don't know what a hard
Yeah.
launch really is. Like, you have to be willing to grenade the gearbox
Yeah.
and throw the thing away.
Well, Jim Glickenhaus told me that last week. I mean, I asked him that question. I asked him how important is the 300 mile per hour mark? How important is a Nürburgring record? And he said it's more fun to go around corners. Racing is about 100 to 200 miles per hour, and that's kind of it. And no one's going to drive their car to 270 miles per hour. So
I agree.
it's irrelevant.
I much prefer. Here's a Glickenhaus. It is 20. What for 24-hour race is this? Can you identify this?
That looks
circuit?
like some Bahrain, Dubai.
This looks like a Middle East. Oh, circuit. It says Circuit of the Americas.
no,
It's Coda?
really?
Texas?
Wow, whoa.
Texas.
Is there a 24-hour
Texas.
That
race
didn't
in
look like
Texas?
Coda.
Well, he just finished a 24-hour race in Texas.
Well, he knows more than we
So
do.
there you go. That car looks good,
It's a
dirty.
cool shot.
Yes,
Yeah,
it does.
cool
Good,
shot.
dirty, man.
Very cool.
I
Look
give
at that
him
nose.
points.
Look at that nose.
I know it's very schnozzy. I give him points for finishing 20 hours. But I agree. I think it's more fun. It's like a car that's really fun from like 30 to 80 is really what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
like
where
my
a lot of fun
911.
is.
Yeah.
My 911's great for that.
What's
Yeah.
the Countach good at in 30 to 80?
Countach is good to wind out. I'd bump that number up a little bit, 30 to 120.
Okay.
It's got
That's
got
good.
legs. That girl.
You need some
That's
open
good.
road.
It's got
tall
legs.
gears.
Yeah. It's got long. It's got
Yeah.
long legs. Yeah. It's a 5-speed. That's why I don't like the early turbos so much. The 4-speed cars.
We just drove down from
We just
Van
spent
Nuys pretty
2
much
hours in
first
one.
gear.
Literally. He
I swear to God, I'm not joking.
What gear do you think we're in? I'm like, second. He's like,
Yeah.
nope, first.
First is the 45. We never saw 40 coming down the
No.
45.
Oh, no.
We got
No.
into second gear maybe a couple of times. Just
Why
cruising.
you guys
Maybe.
decided to go to the valley at 4
it's-
p.m. I'll never fucking
Well,
know.
because we're going to Denver
it's
tomorrow,
been a day,
and I needed
yeah.
to pick up this car before I went.
Sometimes you just have to.
You
do
just
it.
gotta go do it.
Sometimes you just have to do it.
I knew it was not a smart move, but the car had been out of my possession for too long, and it's an emotional thing. And Hannah said, "Are you looking
Where
for?"
was it?
It's my buddy Marty's shop in Van Nuys. He's doing slippery slope type stuff, maintenance. Anyway, Hannah said, "Are you looking forward to driving?" I go, "Well, we're going to pick it up from Marty's, and we're going to drive down the 405, all of like 10 miles, but it's going to take us an hour. So no, not really, but I'm going to get it anyway. I've got to get it."
It's I hate driving around the city.
Yeah, I'm not from here. It's a new thing for me.
Where did you
to
grow
see.
up again?
Well, I grew up in Oregon.
Oh,
I'm from
yeah.
Oregon, actually, but I've lived in New York for 15 years. So
Right.
I'm not familiar with LA traffic patterns.
New York
At
is
all.
much simpler. In,
Oh,
out,
completely.
in, out,
All roads
Tell
lead
them
to New
about
York.
your New York trip, though, like last week when you're trying to get out of the
my-
city in the blizzard of 18.
There
Oh,
for the
I-
snowstorm.
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
I left my office at 5:30. By
Tell 'em where your
11,
office is.
my office is on 50. It's in Midtown on 50th and Lexington. By 11 p.m., I was on 102nd and York.
Were you driving?
Period. No, I was in an Uber trying to get to the
How much
airport.
was the Uber?
$200.
To JFK, but she never made it to JFK.
I never made it off the island. I literally, after 5 hours, I just
hours
said,
in an Uber.
please, I have to stop.
5
hours.
in an Uber.
I didn't make it past 102nd Street from 58th.
Listen,
Dude, if anything goes down,
I have all the sympathy in the world for you for this, but seriously, why did you stay in the Uber for 5 hours?
because here's the other thing.
And how angry was the
because
driver?
for 2 reasons. He was actually super cool. He's from Bangladesh. We made friends. Two reasons.
I was waiting for him, Paul, and I'm like, thinking, you're not going to make this fly. You're not gonna
because
make this
number
fly.
one, I had I'm gone
He's
for
about
like.
this. He's like, I got this cute
Yeah.
girl in the back. He's
I
like,
mean,
I'm gonna ride this
here's
one
the
out.
thing. I'm in the middle of a 3-week trip because of the holiday and the LA Auto Show. So I couldn't unfortunately carry on. So I had a huge bag. Number one, I couldn't get out and pull it in the snow.
Yeah.
And number two, we were not moving. It was literally a parking lot. So even if I had told him, like, can you just get off on and go back down? Forget it. We couldn't go
Yeah.
anywhere.
Gridlock
We were sitting.
for hours.
Yeah.
My
It was
dad was
bad.
stuck in that as well. He
Yeah.
missed a flight to London. Yeah. It took him.
It
like
was
4.5
like
hours.
legit.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's
man.
I mean, I
story.
blame de Blasio. I do.
Of course you do.
I'm biased because I work
Blasio.
for Bloomberg, but I do blame de Blasio.
Yo, Mikey.
They're in
Are
that
you tight with
entire.
Mikey? He
Oh
just-
yeah,
he just
we're
gave a-
we're great friends.
You and him are homies?
No, I mean I see him like once a
Homies.
month in the office. I
He
say
just gave
hi.
a lot of money to
He gave
Johns
like
Hopkins.
$1.8
Billion
billion dollars.
You don't think you could spread that around a little bit? That's a lot
I
to
mean,
go to one
I think
school.
he does spread it around.
think
That's
he
the thing. I
probably
don't
does.
think it's that much. But he, in his Instagram post, he said
Not that much, she said.
for him.
I didn't
In
say
his
anything.
Instagram post, he said his first donation to his university was $5 because that's all he could afford, which I
know
thought
what?
was great. You don't buy it?
That's good for him. That's great. I don't want to give any money to my university.
I haven't given
They
a,
took
a
lot
red
of-
cent to my university.
My
but
university degree hasn't gotten.
where
me
did
very
you go to
much.
school?
I went to Penn. It's a
Oh,
good school.
East Coast.
Yeah, it's a good school. I'm East Coast.
That's
yeah.
that's.
It's
I
a
mean,
good
is that
school.
an Ivy League school,
It is.
Matt
Whoa,
Farah?
Matt Farah.
That
Ivy
is an
League.
legit
I'm an
Ivy.
elite. I'm a
Yes, that is
media elite.
Whoa.
that is an Ivy League
You
school.
just sold the car
You
that
know,
donated proceeds to charity, though, right? The
I
Fox
did.
that's a
Body
very.
Mustang.
Yeah, I
what
got
did
it,
you
Jared.
What did
Yeah.
you study at Penn?
Photography.
No
I went
Another
to the
surprise.
best business school in the country. Studied
That's
art.
really
There
cool.
you go.
I like it. I like it. That's really
Straight
cool.
up, I had good grades. I had good SAT scores.
Yeah.
But my dad's on the board of directors there, and that's how I got
Yeah.
in. And I'm not even gonna lie about that.
No,
Like,
that's a
how I
great
got in.
school. Of course, you'd want to go there. It's
Can't
a great
beat nepotism,
school.
right?
Yeah, I mean, it was the best school I got into because of him.
When
and that's
you
where I went.
when you were
No
studying
worries.
photography, what
Yeah.
were you thinking you were going to do with that?
I wanted to do landscape and architecture photography, and I thought I was
I
going to
love
be
that.
like a photographer for like Architectural Digest or
yeah,
something,
that's cool.
which I was well on my way to until the digital camera.
Oh,
and the digital
yeah.
camera and Craigslist
Yeah.
happened 6 months after I graduated and just ate my career.
Yeah.
And then I
Yeah.
was like, maybe I can do something with cars.
It worked
Yeah.
out pretty good for
And
you.
I went back
Yeah.
to the bottom and started with cars, like
Yeah.
literally washing cars at a dealership with an Ivy League
Wow.
education.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's
you gotta-
okay.
you
no
gotta-
regrets.
That's a good story.
No
it's
regrets.
it's part of your story.
Yeah, and now I take
That's really
pictures
good.
for my own shit,
Yeah.
and I have that skill. It's great.
And
the
you got a
same,
Countach.
Yeah.
I have a Countach. I'm not worried. All is right
You
with the
still
world.
you're still you.
Congratulations.
You're still you regardless.
It's
you still
okay.
have that like creative part of you.
It's okay, man.
Yeah.
It's
that's
okay.
good.
I make things.
It's all good.
Where else have you guys been travel wise? Where else have you guys been recently that was impressive?
Well, yesterday we were in Portland, which was
was
great because I'm
awesome.
from Oregon. I haven't been back in a long time. So
Are
it
you
was-
from Portland? or
I'm from Bend,
Oh,
Bend,
yeah.
Oregon. Yeah, it was very small when I lived there, but an old logging town.
Are people? Is it growing?
Yeah, it's like
Is it?
it's big. I mean, when I lived there were 15,000 people. Now there are 80,000 people.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's-
growing.
yeah,
is
it's
there
a
like
cool place.
traffic now?
Yeah. But yeah, we were in Portland, which is great. I mean, I love Oregon.
It's green up there.
It's green.
It's a good
People are
car scene.
super chill.
Super
Nike's
chill.
big,
Bunch of beardos.
Does Nike run the whole town?
It's Nike Town.
kind of.
Is that where their headquarters is?
Yeah.
They're headquartered in Beaverton.
Beaverton.
Yeah,
Beaverton?
Yeah,
Is
Beaverton.
that like next to Bend?
It's Beaverton is a suburb of Portland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they started in Eugene, then they moved up to Portland. But yeah,
Lovely.
we were there. We were in England. We were in Detroit.
Oh,
I had
went to Detroit for
yeah,
dinner.
I had
24 hours in Detroit.
Bloomberg I had to host a marketing dinner for Bloomberg in Detroit.
Seriously?
Which yeah.
24 hours in Detroit?
Yeah,
was 24
which
hours in Detroit.
I love Detroit. I'm actually
I like Detroit,
disappointed
too.
that the Detroit Auto Show is moving to the summer. after
Why?
this year.
I don't
because
think that's a good idea.
They're losing automakers showing up for the auto show. So they've decided after this year
'cause
they're going to
it's
move it
cold
to
and
June.
shitty.
I know, but it's cool.
Builds
It's
character.
cool. It's like beautiful
It's like
decay.
the Viking
yes.
auto show.
Yeah,
It's like
kinda
if
is.
you can survive it, then you know it's legit. Puts hair on your chest. It's good.
I mean, I guess has a certain charm.
I really like Detroit. The people there, I love. They're so friendly. They're
They
so
are.
authentic. They're not pretentious at all. They are not susceptible to marketing or I don't know.
It's
I
actually
like
that's very true. They're almost unsusceptible warning. And I'll give you an example of where
Okay,
they are.
tell.
My my good friend Nino is from Detroit, and his dad is a restaurateur, and his partner's dropping a name. He's partners with Mark Wahlberg. Who I've never met.
Wahlburger?
In Wahlburgers.
Wahlburger.
Wahlburgers,
Yeah.
So
Marky Mark.
they opened the Wahlburgers
In
next
Detroit.
to Greek Town.
Yeah.
And they make a good burger. I went. I swear to God, if I was in like a town with nothing else, I would totally go to a Wahlburgers. They make a great burger. They make a good fry. But the people that
okay.
There was a line like 2.5 hours long to get
For a
to
Wahlburger.
Wahlburgers.
Just in case Marky
Never.
Mark or Donnie
No.
was there.
So they are
No.
susceptible to
All right,
marketing if Marky
that's
Mark
fair.
is.
That's fair. I mean,
We can
as a
call
New
it
Yorker,
marketing.
yeah, Marky Mark.
Marky marketing.
Marky marketing.
He should start a
Yeah.
firm.
But really, you should never wait in line for anything ever. Period. I don't care.
100% agree with
I
you.
don't care what it is.
There's
and we're
almost
East
nothing
Coast.
in the
There's
world worth
nothing.
waiting.
Worth waiting in line.
I don't
Nothing.
care if it's brunch. I don't care if it's a supreme drop. I don't care if it's anything. Do not wait in line.
I
Period.
completely agree with you. Lines
Yeah.
are for suckers.
Yes.
Exactly.
Move
Yes.
on.
Yes.
Just move on.
Get a life.
Keep it moving.
100% I'm for you.
Yeah.
I'm with that.
Yeah.
Collection wise, Mr. Magnus, what's happening in the collection? I see you've been leaning towards turbos recently.
Well, always got a dose of turbo fever. The new goal, I sidestepped with the Lotus, obviously.
Well, you must sometimes have some variety.
I mean, when it comes to the P cars, it's one of everything. So front engine, mid engine, rear engine, air and water cooled. That explains the 924s, 928s, 944. I'm like a day away from buying a 968 manual.
Really?
Coupe. Yeah, non-club sport, but
they made
manual.
like 6 of those.
Yeah, pretty rare car. They didn't make a ton of them. It's another car that's not that easy to find, a manual coupe. But I found one of the last sort of 50 made down in Florida that I'm going to...
50 manual coupes? That's how many of those they
No,
made?
the last year, depends who you listen to. They made 150 or 60. It depends who you listen to. 1995, 968 manual coupe.
I have heard...
Record is 150, but my source says only 60 of them were true 95s.
I've heard through the grapevine
Yeah.
that this car is one of the most difficult Porsches to get parts for.
I'll let you know when mine arrives.
I've heard it's super, super hard to get parts for these things.
Well, I found one in Florida, and the goal is it's either going to be my New York City car. We'll drive down to Florida and drive it to New York, or I'll drive it across country. But that's the missing piece to my front-engined, water-cooled transaxle collection. Started with a 924, 928, 944, and 968. And then after that, I don't know, there's always something. I just saw a really nice turbo today, but I also saw a 996 40th anniversary edition down at Auto Kennel.
What are you doing with that?
First,
Come on. What are you doing with that? You just
Let me
need
tell you-
filler? Just got an empty spot in the
Nah,
garage?
I mean-
I thought you were nuts when you bought the GT3, which
Well,
you seem to like.
let me tell you,
I love that
the
car.
996 GT3 is one of my favorites. I've literally owned over 60 911s. It's the only water-cooled 911 I've owned. But I've driven them all the way up to whatever the latest, greatest new thing is. But there's something super unique about a 996 GT3, especially if you can get a RS version.
Which
It's
you
so
can't
raw.
in America.
Well, there's a few here. There
Did
is
they
a few.
federalize a couple?
No, but there's always a way around it.
Oh, it's Florida. It's all. The answer is
Miami.
easily
You just gotta go to
Florida.
Miami.
Yeah, over there. Yeah.
But no,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
996.
I literally met somebody the other day that had a car. I remember where they were, but I'm not going to blow up their spot. That literally had a Japanese imported car from 2005,
Yeah?
like right hand. And I was like,
What's wrong with that?
bro, I was like, where did you get that? And he's like, Florida, bro.
Amazing.
was
I love
like,
it.
oh
I love
my
it.
God.
love
Sorry,
it.
GT3 RS.
I was chasing a Gen 1 996 GT3 when I went down to the Dominican Republic. And this is a car that never, ever came into America.
Did it ever go to the Dominican Republic?
Yeah, because I drove it in the Dominican Republic. And I was
One of them island cars.
It was one of those things where timing didn't sort of work out for me. But anyway, that was a car I could have brought into Miami and could have brought into California. I just get cars and worry about sort of legalization later on.
That
doesn't stop me. I
worry about legalization either.
Nothing's going to stop me getting what I want when it comes to a car.
You know what's very funny is that with the legalization, and I'm not talking in specifics at all, but like anything else, it comes down to the mood of that one person at the DMV that you're dealing with.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Bedside
like whatever
manner.
the law is, whatever the rule book
Bedside
says,
manner.
it always comes down to, does that person at the DMV like and believe you?
Yes.
Yeah.
If they do,
Bedside manner.
it's all good.
I've got a lot of DMV stories, and I think someone should make a TV show about the DMV.
They
a bit
really
like The
should.
Office.
They
Kind of like
really
Parks and Rec.
should.
Yeah,
only
Parks and
DMV.
Rec, Portlandia / The Office,
yeah.
set in a
It's called
DMV.
The Department.
Yes.
Yeah, it would be like an
Yes.
awesome show. Cause
They have a show about the parking ticket, the meter maids in Venice.
Oh, yeah.
Remember
Oh, that's
Parking
cool.
Wars?
Yeah.
About the meter maids in Venice were they're all these like super sassy black women, and they're
I
so
love it.
hardcore
Yes.
that they got a TV show. I got into a fight with one of them.
And
once.
you're a Venetian, right? You're a guy who lives in Venice.
I got into a fight with one of them once. I was sitting in a 5-minute loading zone, and she came to write me a ticket. My friend Thaddeus, who you know, was in picking up his takeout food, and I go, "No, I've been here for 3 minutes. My friend is inside picking up his burrito, and then we're out." She goes, "Does it say burrito loading zone?"
I love it. I love it. I love it.
And I was like, "All right," and I like slowly went to
Yeah.
start the car and slowly put it into gear.
Tell me you're in the
I love
DeLorean when you were
I
waiting.
love it.
Now it's some press car, but like by the time I had slowly backed halfway
You're
out of
slowing
the
your
spot,
roll.
he's walking outside. I'm like, "See, burrito loading zone."
There you
Fuck
go.
yeah. Yeah, they got to realize.
That's what you call a BLZ. But yeah, DMV reality show. You're down with a BLZ.
The BLZ.
Yeah, the burrito loading
That's
zone.
fucking crazy.
So-
There should be a fucking.
But yeah,
burrito loading
right
zone.
there, 996 GT3 RS. I've driven all the RSs from the 73 all the way up to the latest. And
Is there much difference with the 996 RS? Is it just weight and is that about it? Is there a different motor at all?
Control, it's just the purest. It's the most chiseled. My real all-time favorite RS is the 74 3-liter. Punch up 74
74
3-liter.
3-liter?
Yeah.
All right.
That
Is
the
that a
iconic one.
fatty bumper one?
Yeah, it's a G-body, big bumper, short hood car. It is awesome.
oh,
Right
here we
there,
go.
right there. That's
Well,
a
that's-
73
It's a
RS.
73. This guy.
Click the
No?
yellow one.
Yellow?
Yeah, there you go.
Well, that's a race car.
Well, that's an RSR, but
That's a race car.
whatever
Hang on.
Google thing you're on here, you got to click 73 3-liter
Oh,
street
boy.
RS street car. Hey, they all look the same. I joke about the right there,
This
the white one. There
That's
you
an
go.
RS.
That's the one you need.
Oh, Jesus. It's all gone
Oh.
wrong. It's all gone wrong, folks.
Back to Porsches, all looking the same, but no two ever drive the same. That's what's great about them.
Well, it's subtle nuance, right? This one's
Yeah.
got some wide fenders on it, man.
Yeah.
Wow. There's that. See, that people actually ask me how someone like yourself or a Seinfeld or a real heavy Porsche collector, why you would have 30 Porsches. And
Variety. No two ever drive the same.
they're all different.
All different.
Yeah.
One time I had 7 3-liter turbos. I'm down to 5. We drove one down here today, the 77. I'm one of those guys that modifies cars. What we pulled up in today is a 1977 ice green metallic, green avocado leather, tartan interior. I'm the third owner. It's got 41,000 miles on it. Everything that I don't care about, like original everything, toolkit, gloves, compressor, radio, this car has it. That's the car that we basically didn't get out of first gear driving down the 405 in. And like I say, no two ever drive the same because the car's over 40 years old. It's been
So
tweaked
they
and changed.
age differently and
Yeah,
different.
the suspension's the same. That one's got a little clutch judder that's mildly irritating, but I can't be bothered to do a full-on, clutch on it. So you just live with it. It's not a problem unless you're in traffic on the 405, and then it's mildly irritating.
When you have a big collection like that, are you constantly irritated about the things that need doing, or are you just kind of accept it and
I accept
do
it.
you
I
just
mean,
rotate cars
to
into
me,
service?
I rotate. It's all about variety. Before, I just bought a $3,500 944. So, you know, to me,
How's that?
it's a running, driving car. So how could you go wrong? It's a $3,500 944 that runs and drives.
You could go wrong if it needs 10 grand worth of stuff.
Yeah, you can, but you know, it's like entry level into Porsche. So for me, you know, I'm still in love with the brand. I've been a fan of it for over 40 years. It's intoxicating. It's all that stuff. So for me, it's all about variety and it's all about the drive, and it's an exciting thing. So
Hannah, what's in your 5-car dream collection?
Okay, starting with Porsche, the GT3, I think, but touring.
A new one?
A new one,
yeah.
but touring.
They're lovely.
Yeah, I know.
They're very lovely.
Less like racer, more understated.
I just drove an
think.
RS, a new RS.
Yeah.
It's way too stiff for like
Yeah,
use in
I
the
mean,
city.
yeah, something you can drive.
It's rough.
I really like the AMG GT from Mercedes. That was
GTR.
that too.
Yeah.
Either one. I mean, fantastic cars. I will say also the Bentley Continental GT.
The
Did
newest
you drive?
one?
Yeah.
I haven't
Did you
had a go
drive
in the
that?
new one yet.
tell them the
think-
story when we drove up to Monterey in that car.
I mean, we smoked a Pagani in that car. That's the story. We smoked a Pagani.
Really?
We drove
Must have been in
900.
the wrong
we
gear.
drove 900 miles in that car on one take of gas.
No.
I mean, I'm going
no.
on
what?
new
Hang
cars
on,
here,
hang
not
on a
vintage.
minute.
No,
Hang on a minute,
we
hang
made
on.
it to Laguna Seca.
All right,
on one
how
tank of gas.
many
not
miles is
900
that?
miles.
How many
No, no,
miles
no.
is that?
We made
Sorry.
it
350.
We made it to
All right,
Laguna Seca
all right.
on one tank of gas, and for the record, we drag raced a
Okay.
McLaren 570 and a 720
And-
up Carmel Valley Road.
and a Hyra.
The 720 pulled us, but we beat the 570
That's a really
in a Bentley
sick
Continental
car.
GT.
That is a fantastic car for
It is pretty
road
awesome.
trips.
I will say it's an awesome car.
And I do like how it looks.
I like how it looks
You
a lot.
cannot judge a car based on who owns it. It's not fair. So if like a lot of people are like, oh, it's just like the
Unless it's a G-Wagon.
Well, tell me
like
about
a
the
G-Wagon.
G-Wagon. Come on, tell me about the G-Wagon.
okay. So number 4, Mercedes G-Wagon.
Okay.
We're talking new cars here.
Yeah, it's fine.
The new G, it's great.
What happened to all my
There's
numbers?
no space in it.
What's your fifth
It's not really different than the old one.
I heard that
But
the
it's
new
an
one still
icon.
has no space in it.
No space. It has a little more than the previous generation, but still really no space.
We drove that car in Germany, actually.
Honestly,
from
truly, the
Mercedes
only different new thing is
the front and rear headlights.
the headlights are different, and the
interior-
dashboard
the
has
dashboard
the
is different.
surfboard, the cool surfboard Mercedes,
Right.
which is cool. I like. See, that's cool.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's the same car.
Okay.
Sorry, it's an icon. It hasn't changed for 40 years. There's a reason for that. I like it. I'm
Okay.
unapologetic about that. And get it in
All right, so
cocaine
we got
light.
a Bentley GT,
Yeah.
an AMG GT. We've
GT3
got
GT3, yeah.
Porsche, yeah.
G-Wagon. I'm talking new cars.
Yeah, it's okay.
And then let's see.
Throw a classic in there.
Ooh. I guess I'll say the Lotus.
The
It's fun.
Yeah, Lotus is
yeah,
great.
sure.
Come on.
Sure.
And
I'll
you
say,
haven't even driven one that works properly.
right. The thing about that car
only a
is
matter of time.
it's
Come on.
definitely like it's gonna engage you emotionally
It's an emotional thing.
I understand.
for better and worse.
Look at
And
that thing. Come on, look how great that
For
looks.
me,
It does have a lot of character.
Yeah.
it
It's
has.
very
I
pretty.
It ain't
love
no
how it's
Countach,
a
but it
wedge.
turns heads.
It's
It's a poor man's Countach.
This car
It's
is
got the same
Wedge,
It's
yeah.
got the
Yeah.
same wedge.
Silhouette,
It's
yeah.
got the same. I mean, the pop-up headlights. They probably share the same fucking part.
Probably.
They
Yeah.
do. This car, this needs to be the number one. Whoever owns it,
One
this
day
needs
we
to
gotta
be
go
your,
drive
it
the two
needs
red
to be
cars.
your number one car. It takes a lot of love and affection.
It really
You
does.
can't let it go. You can't like let it just fall to the wayside. It's a high maintenance car.
Do you have an LA Lotus guy or is Sharky going to handle that?
Well, you know, Sharky can handle anything. I don't have an LA.
Their secondary specialty is vintage Lotus, right?
I've driven the Evora. You know, he
Yeah.
recently got the Lotus Esprit that they went on the Driving While Awesome tour. That Evora that they've got is awesome.
I'm a big. Have you driven Evora 400?
No.
Hannah? Evora
Nope.
400 rules.
Really?
Nice
It's
car.
so-
You had one, right? You
I
got
had
one?
one. For
You owned one.
No, I got a semi long termer. I got
Okay.
one for like a month and a half from
Okay.
Lotus. It was awesome. It was great. Drove great.
How is the space
Fat.
inside the cabin?
Good. It's good. The space itself is good, but it falls victim to a problem that a lot of cars fall victim to, which is that you have enough headroom,
Yeah.
but that the windshield itself
close.
is
Yeah.
low. So even though
So
you
you're-
fit, you have to hunch. You either have to lean back or hunch down.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
it's reasonably spacious. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. Let's get to. We got a bunch of questions
Whoa,
from
we
folks.
didn't-
Look at all these. We got a bunch of questions, folks. We got to do these.
It's funny that you mentioned Sharky, though, because on
What's
the way
that?
down, Sharky sent me a text. I don't know what to do with my phone.
Oh, Jesus.
But I will find the phone.
Me mobile.
Yeah, me
I'm going to have
mobile.
one of these Angel City Pilsners.
I guess we left it in the car.
Oh, no.
Really?
That's okay.
Still
It seems unusual.
Why? What did it say?
Just Sharky sent me a text, and we said we were heading down
Jesus,
here.
this is
So,
going wrong.
careful, yeah.
This has gone completely wrong.
So, big shout out to Alex
Yikes.
from Sharkworks
Mazel.
down there.
L'chaim. All right. We got a bunch of questions, folks. We're going to do this for the next 30 before we call the game. And so if you want to get in on this, get in the super chat right now, live, folks. Jay Owens says, hey, loving the content. Thank you very much. Looking to get my first P car, leading towards a 997 two-wheel drive manual. Is the GTS worth the premium over a Carrera S because it's getting into turbo money? And I hate center locks, which the most GTS comes with. The car will be 50% cruising, 30% spirited driving, 20% track. GTS is the top of the budget here.
Well, GTS is awesome. I've driven the Brumos one, but in stock form, also awesome. But I will say, I think 997 Gen 1 is the best bang for the buck.
They are.
Non-turbo, non-GTS, you can get it for under $30,000. So I would say, Gen 1, 997, non-GTS, non-turbo would be the way to go. But back to the question, GTS is an
Is it
awesome
worth
car.
the premium over a Carrera S? Because you get that GT3 engine, but with the soft suspension.
Each to their own, I
Getting
always
into
say,
turbo money.
I always
I would
say
say get a turbo at that point.
stay boosted,
Yeah.
right?
Get it. I mean,
Yeah.
997 turbo is a stout car.
Yeah, for sure.
You can crank it up a little
Yeah.
bit. You can have a little fun.
You can drive cross country.
And if you hate center locks, not all turbos come with center locks. So
Yeah, only the Turbo S came with the center lock. So regular turbo, don't worry about the center locks. Stay boosted.
997 1 turbo is where we would go, sir.
Stay boosted.
Max says, I've always wanted to be an auto writer. I'm 21 now. I have a review column, weekly press cars, good connections. Fuck, I mean, I think you're doing really good.
Yeah.
I got my first press car. I was 29, so you're well
Yeah.
ahead of me.
You're ahead of the game. I would say editors only care about your byline. I mean, truly, if you come in with your resume, they're going to say, well, show me what you've written.
Exactly.
So
but he says advice for continuing growth.
Keep doing what you're doing. Keep your name clean. Establish a really good reputation. Keep doing what you're doing.
I would say keep on keeping on. Try not to crash anything if you can avoid
Yeah,
that.
keep a good reputation on that.
Get it done.
And if you
Yeah.
have your own column, like maybe try
Yeah.
submitting to other outlets that might want to have you.
Yeah.
Spread the wealth.
And be able to do a lot of things like photograph, video.
True.
Right? I mean, that's kind of the reality.
And maybe practice by writing some editorials that aren't reviews.
Yeah.
That's actually, most people
Yes.
just want to write car reviews, but
No,
that's
no,
pretty
no.
saturated. Write some editorials.
Right.
Thank you, sir. Rafa's Garage says, is the 931 a special Porsche or just a badge VW? And a 931 Magnus is?
It's a 924 Turbo. I have 3 of them. It's Porsche's first front-engine water-cooled turbo. The highlight of the bunch is a 924 Carrera GT. Porsche made 406 of them. It is a special Porsche.
So it's not just a Volkswagen, even though it kind of is a Volkswagen.
It's a VW Audi is really what it is, but it's a Porsche. I say if there's a Porsche badge in it, it's a Porsche. And that's why I'm all about variety. I literally have 3 of them. One of them's stock like that. One of them's a 924 Carrera GT, and the other one's the Al Holbert wide body special.
That thing's
So
cool.
it's a special Porsche.
Yeah. I think they're Porsches.
Yeah,
I
it's
think they are.
awesome.
I think these are neat little cars. Look, if a 914 is a Porsche,
See, that's a US spec one right there with the side indicators and the 4-lug wheels. You
ugly
see
bumpers.
that? It's got 4-lug wheels instead of
this one
5-lug.
is this yours?
That's like a that's kind of like a 924 Carrera GT right there.
I'm surprised yours is not coming up.
Yeah, maybe. Well, they all look the same.
They all look.
But
the
that
same.
one looks pretty awesome right there.
Yeah,
and it's
that-
for sale on Bring a Trailer.
That one looks good. At least
Yeah.
it was for sale on Bring a Trailer at some point.
All right, let's go back to the questions.
Thank you, host.
No problem. Co-host.
Mitch says, I just purchased an Audi S3. Any thoughts on APR tunes and bolt-ons? Yes,
you.
they are good. Yeah, APR is very conservative. They don't tend to blow up a lot of cars. If you get a consumer-grade tune and consumer-grade bolt-on parts for the S3, they will enhance it. S3 is same as the Golf R, pretty much in the chassis and the powertrain department, and you can certainly get a little more juice out of those things with consumer grade bolt-ons and knowing that they are safe to run. You don't start running into risks. I mean, the 2-liter TFSI Volkswagen engine is pretty stout. So until you start breaking the 400 to the wheels mark, you're pretty safe to run those cars. So I would say yes, APR is good.
That's a good answer right there. Very thoughtful.
FBC Group says from...
Just a quick thanks, Matt and Zach, for the great content and efforts, staying true to what your channel want to be or something.
Thanks,
there you
Magnus.
Go. Thanks for the content.
Andrew says, oh, yeah, please give a shout out to Paul and Todd at Everyday Driver. Do you know those guys?
No, I don't know, man.
Sweet guys, man. They do a show called Everyday Driver, and someone broke into their rental minivan and stole all their gear while on the shoot. They had to go, they were partially covered by insurance, and they had a GoFundMe that raised quite a bit of money, they will be able to replace all of their gear. But shout out to Paul and Todd. We love them. They're great folks, and they have an open seat in this podcast when they get back, and they get all their gear replaced. It's fucked. David says, I read today that all future Lambos will be V8 hybrids.
Well, Hannah, that's a question
Thoughts
for you.
on the future of sports cars with no more NA, no more turbos, maybe hybrids and electric. What do you think, Hannah?
Everything I've heard from Maurizio Reggiani, who's the head of R&D.
I like that guy. That guy rules.
I love him. From
He's
Lamborghini.
a party animal.
Yeah, that guy
is
rules.
that Lamborghini will continue to do V12s until the end of days.
They are committed to that V12.
They're committed, and I don't know where this story ran, but everything I hear in person from the executives at Lamborghini is they're doing V12s, and they are not on board with hybrids at all. They're on board with potentially electric things, but I would really question that.
I just Googled Lamborghini hybrid only, and I can't
That's
find
speculation.
any recent... Yeah, it's all speculative.
It's super... I see the headlines. Yes, I see them. But if you talk to the executives, they all say our customers want V12s, and we're going to do V12s.
A bit like Rolls-Royce, right? They're still making that same motor.
Same with V12. Yeah,
they're super proud of the new Aventador SVJ, and that's some old school ass shit. That car.
I mean, yes, you're right. You see the headlines, same as we do. But if you talk to the executives, they're on the 12-cylinder.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Urus, if they offer a hybrid,
maybe,
and they may offer a hybrid sports car at some point. But
maybe
that's a fun car, the Urus.
Have you driven one?
We drove it on the track in Rome.
Yeah,
we on the launch.
I'm going to the U.S. launch in like a couple weeks. Is
I loved it. Yes,
it's awesome.
Yes,
and my buddy Mitya Burkhardt that used to work at Porsche, he's now the head of design at Lamborghini. And
big fan of that
sort
car.
Sort of the big guy behind the Urus.
So good.
It's actually cool.
I went to the launch party in L.A.
Well, that's all that matters.
I thought it was
party.
It's a little strange looking. The car.
You need to drive it. You need to drive it. That'll change everything.
I thought the Cayenne was weird looking too when it first came out. Now I no longer care because they drive
Porsche, right?
I mean, wait till you drive the Urus. It's phenomenal.
You know what I was impressed by without driving it at the Urus? That I could fit in the back seat.
Yeah.
It didn't look like I could, but I could. I'm holding an open mind.
I really am. I think you're going to like it. I think you're going to
to
really like it. It's really good.
I'm guessing the launch is thermal. I don't...
Probably.
It's Palm Springs,
Makes sense.
I imagine it will be a thermal.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
You got to take that thing off-road, though, as well.
I don't think they'll be doing that. I mean, I could sail it off turn 5 into the gravel. I'm testing the all-wheel drive. Trekkie 171 and blah, 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 says, should I hold out for the mid-engine Hyundai RM16? I don't know what that is. Do you know what that is?
No.
Or
That's
sell
a question
my
for you, though.
Hyundai RM16.
Keep the BMW.
Keep the Beamer.
That's my
I just drove an M1.
First inclination.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Is that really what this is?
Pull that up. That looks pretty
Is that? Wow, okay. If this is a thing, it looks like a Renault Sport Clio V6, doesn't it?
At the ring. There you go. Back at the ring.
I mean, if they really make this, I don't know.
I think if we're talking residual values, keep the BMW.
Is this guy European?
I don't know. No, he's American. Or sell my 2015 M235i now and get an Audi RS3. A mid-engine hatch would be too cool to pass up. I've not driven. Have you driven a lot of mid-engine hatchbacks?
No, Porsche doesn't make them. I don't think.
Chris Harris has driven all the mid-engine hatchbacks over in Europe. He says they all seem like good ideas until you drive them, and they have very twitchy.
Keep the BMW. Keep the BMW.
Chris knows.
I'm not a big M235i fan. If you like it, keep it. If not, the Audi RS3 rules. That's
there you
what
go.
I've said.
There's your answer.
Zachary says, I would love to hear Magnus's thoughts on his... Oh, he did. His
Already
996 GT3. And would like to know if I have ever driven one. I have not driven
Drive
a
one.
996. Can I drive yours?
Sure, no problem.
Okay.
You
I'll
can drive
yours.
it, no problem.
I've driven 996 turbos, and they're
Different
very
car
fast.
completely.
I'd love to try a GT3. If I can try yours, that would be amazing.
It's like a better version of 997 GT3, just doesn't stop quite as good.
A better version?
I think so.
Really? Well,
I think
you would
so.
know. 997 GT3 is one of my favorites. It's a
Wait till
lovely
you drive
car.
the 996.
Fair enough. I will reserve
There
judgment.
you go.
Jack says, hey, Magnus, how do you feel about the 718 Caymans and Boxsters? I know you own a few 924s and 944s, so you're not anti-four-cylinder.
Big fan of the Cayman. It's actually the missing piece to my mid-engine Porsche puzzle. You know, I've got the 914 that covers the air-cooled. What I'm chasing is a first-gen Cayman water-cooled, obviously, to cover the mid-engine water-cooled car. So big fan of the Cayman, and we spoke about Alex at Sharkworks earlier on. What those guys did with their Cayman GT4 is such an awesome car.
The gearing is too short. They need to undo the 5th and 6th. The 5th and 6th don't need to be that short.
But when the split second you shift out of second into third gear, you know something's different with that car.
Oh, 100%.
So one of my
you just don't need to do 5th and 6th.
Yeah, you keep that stock, right? You just go,
I drove
second,
that thing
third,
from
fourth.
San Francisco to Sacramento at
how was that?
5,000 RPM. 5th and 6th were too short.
So I guess to answer the question, I'm actually looking for a first-gen Cayman. And one of my favorite Porsches, really new Porsches, is the Cayman GT4.
But you ducked
Yeah.
the question. What he meant was the 718 Cayman, which has the new 4-cylinder engine.
Well, that's on the list too. I haven't driven that car.
You drove one, Hannah? 718?
No.
No
Nope,
718s?
I haven't. Not yet.
They're
I've
very
driven.
fast.
I've driven the old Cayman, but not the new one.
They're very
No.
fast and don't sound as good as the 6s.
I like
I
to
believe
start
it.
my collecting at the beginning. So I
Yeah.
start with the beginning of a generation, not the
Yeah, the
current or the end.
924.
Yeah, the first
early-
generation
yeah, the
3-liter
early.
turbo,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
64 911.
I think in general you can have possibly even more fun in a Cayman than a 911. They're more
Possibly.
predictable on a track. They're more predictable.
They're super fun
Yeah.
on track. And the 718 GTS is fast as
It
fuck.
takes confidence
Nice
to
car.
drive them. Confidence to know that it's a fun car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Jack.
Thanks, Jack.
Life at its best says, what are your thoughts on the Mercedes 190e 2.6 Sportline?
That's your
Will it
question,
be a
Hannah.
collectible car one day? That's a W124? Is that what that is?
Pull it up.
Yeah.
Let's take a look.
My initial reaction is, of course.
Hannah likes some
Yeah, of
Mercedes
course.
for sure. Oh, that's
Of
pretty
course.
cool.
We're pretty much
Of
talking
course.
about this. It's a
Yeah.
I'm sorry, W201. Excuse
What
me.
year is
You
it?
just have to have patience. Of course. That's beautiful.
I mean, a rising
Yeah.
tide lifts all boats, right?
Exactly.
And the Cosworths are coming up. What I know
Of
about
course.
these cars is that they are virtually unkillable.
You cannot kill them. It's Mercedes.
Two
they
of
will
the worst
live
drivers I've ever met
forever.
have driven these cars
Yeah.
and managed to
You
not
can- you
kill
Who
them.
are
cannot-
those people?
I
High
mean, this
school.
is
Go back to high
nothing's
school.
going to get more of a sure bet than something like this. From that's just standard. I mean, you're not going to become a millionaire off it, but you're not going to lose money.
I think you could buy one, drive it for 5 years, and sell it
Yes.
for exactly what you paid for it.
At the
if you do
very
maintenance.
least.
Yeah.
At the very least.
Yeah, they're stout.
Yeah.
They're,
get
they're
one.
all right. I mean, they're not like fun.
You
but
can probably
they're
find
all
one
right.
on Craigslist, right? Straight away. for
Million
nothing.
of them
Yeah.
on Craigslist. I mean, collectible. A lot. See, on this show, a lot of folks ask about future collectibles.
Oh,
It's just
Yeah.
it's
Buy
just
what
a
you like.
thing.
That's what I say.
80s and
The
90s.
answer is always buy what you
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and if you're lucky, you don't lose anything. If you're lucky, you don't lose anything,
Yeah.
right?
For me, my timing was I always bought what I liked, and I seemed to be way ahead of what other people liked. And by that, I mean I owned a lot of short wheelbase cars when they were
Right.
super affordable. Same thing happened with early 3-liter turbos when nobody wanted them.
Oh, you just also flipped. Didn't you have that 65? You had that little 65, didn't you?
Well, I've got one of every year from 64 going forward.
No, but you had you had one that a friend of mine I texted you about. It was like a little ratty. Maybe it was like white with a red interior. Then you just sold it in like 24 hours or something.
I've owned a lot of cars, some are super memorable, some are not. But to me, it's always like buy what you
Forgot
like,
about this one.
buy what you like, and drive what you like. Because people ask me all the time, what do you think about this car, that car, or what's your first favorite Porsche, or whatever it may be. I just say buy what you like, and there's a Porsche budget. There's a Porsche car for every budget. The $5,000 Boxster, the $5,000 944. You get into the sort of teens or 20s, like we're talking about the Gen 1 997. You can buy that car for under $30,000. It's a lot of car for not a lot of money.
It is, yeah.
So I always say buy what you like, and if it goes up, great. But that's
Be a tastemaker. You could be a tastemaker.
Hey.
You don't have to listen to someone else's taste.
And it doesn't have to be a Porsche. It can be a lot of other brands too.
It
That's
can.
true.
Yeah.
Totally.
could be a Lotus
It could
Yeah.
be. Or a Mercedes.
or a Lamborghini
Yeah,
Countach
exactly. Or a Volvo.
or a Volvo.
Yeah.
I'm hoping my
P1600.
my R129 SL goes up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on with your million-mile Lexus?
It's at 997,000 miles.
We met
a fan of mine has
we
it
met
right now.
those guys that had borrowed your car in Denver around Pikes Peak last year.
Oh, was that Anna and Anton, the Bulgarian adventure
Yeah,
bloggers?
those guys were driving your
sweet.
car.
Yeah.
we met them in Pikes Peak.
They were sweet. They put like 15,000 miles on
Yeah,
the
they
car.
were cool. They were super
It's
cool.
now with a fan in Indiana who has
Wow.
like a 500 mile a week commute, and he's putting miles on it, and he's
What-
gonna give it back to me right before
When's it going to hit 1,000,000 miles?
soon, probably
Soon.
January. Yeah,
Okay.
pretty soon.
All right.
Exciting.
That's awesome.
You know what?
Exciting.
That's been a fun project, and so I bought that car on like on the first trip I ever took with my now fiance
Hannah.
Hannah.
I thought
Yes.
you guys were
Hannah
married.
with an
Yes.
A. We're getting married in April.
Okay,
and it's
congratulations.
going to hit 1,000,000 like just before our wedding, which I think
Kismet.
is pretty cute.
Well, that
Yeah.
Yeah.
that has to be the honeymoon car. Come on.
Oh my God! Shit.
Come on. How is that not
The
a honeymoon
The
car?
honeymoon will be me no longer having to pay the insurance on that because I have a commercial insurance policy on it. Because God
How
forbid
does that work?
Well, the company owns it, and
Okay.
God forbid I loan it to somebody and they get drunk and run
Yeah,
over a
no,
baby
you can't have
carriage.
that.
I don't
You
want to
can't have
lose
that.
my
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you something. It costs more to insure. Here's some fucking real world depressing shit. It costs more to insure that car annually than it costs to insure my Countach.
What are you kidding?
Ooh,
me? What?
ow.
Yeah.
How do you insure the Countach? Is
That's
that limited miles?
depressing.
Haggerty. Got 2,500 mile a year policy?
I think it's 3,000.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah. It's through Haggerty. Haggerty
Okay.
hooks it up. They're good. Yeah.
Good.
Those are
Yep.
great guys.
All right,
I
let's
mean,
go to the
okay.
next question.
I love
Moving on,
I love
moving
your
on.
fucking hosting this.
Moving on.
Canadian Bacon says, "What is the
Oh,
best
Canadian, I
and
put it-
worst examples of car co-branding?" Oh,
Hannah, that's your question.
You have a what is the? I had back when I was a kid.
Eddie
I had
Bauer.
I had a Nautica Mercury Villager when I was a kid.
That takes the cake.
I actually think Breitling for Bentley is worse.
Why
I
is that?
hate
Why is
their
that?
watches. Their Bentley
I know,
themed
yeah.
watches.
It's
They're
really
terrible.
unfortunate because Breitling is not on the same level as Bentley. It's very
Breitling
unfortunate.
has some nice watches, but they're not.
but
Bentley
in the
level.
watch world,
What are you wearing there? You're
they're-
a watch guy. I know you're a watch guy. What is that?
I'm wearing a Rolex Explorer too. I know it's boring. You have Porsche design, right?
Dude, PD 72.
Yeah, no.
There was
I like
also-
Porsche design watches a lot.
You like
they're
them?
nice. Yeah, they're.
What do
very
you like
nice
about
watches. I like that they are more than just simply co-branded. That they actually are a watch
So
manufacturer.
talking of co-branding, what would you think
is-
about a
oh,
Magnus
you have
Walker
the Orfino one. This is
1972
fire.
first year?
OG.
OG.
wait. This is a really nice one.
Well, here's the question. What would you think about a Magnus Walker Porsche design watch?
Is that a thing?
I'm just asking what would you think about it?
I think it'd be really cool. I wouldn't buy one.
Okay.
Just like I think your steering wheel's really cool, but I'm not going to buy some shit with your name on
those
it.
As a
things sold out
journalist,
pretty
I respect that. I respect that.
Yeah, it'd be really. I think you'd sell them though. I think people would buy them. Yeah, you sold all those steering wheels, didn't you?
They sold out really quick.
Yeah, that's fucking rad.
Suck a
I'm
bone
ha-
every minute. Come on.
And
I'm
you're-
only kidding.
No, and your dope 1552 wheels.
You got to keep on rolling.
That's
on
a
those
great
52s.
example of car co-branding. The Magnus Walker 1552 wheels.
And the-
those are great.
on the Ken Block wheel. Come on, let's not forget
Turbo
that.
Max.
Yeah,
Turbo
that's
Max
right.
rule.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys are awesome. I mean, we brought that wheel collaboration out like 4 years ago, and we're still rolling. So big
Yeah, they're
thumbs
still
up to
making
them.
them, right?
Yeah, still making
Yeah,
them.
that's a good wheel.
Yeah, I should get them in 20-inch or 19-inch. Put on your
Fucking
997
put 'em
in
on-
monoblock right there.
It probably would look good on a 997 actually.
There's big demand from them. They literally go from 15-inch to 20-inch. So, but anyway, that's a whole nother conversation right there.
That's
Moving
a good
on.
example.
Alrighty.
Jonathan says, I need new tires for my Lexus
That's you.
LX.
That's your question
It
right
has
there.
Michelin LTX, date coded and dry rotted.
Get off
Oh,
them.
man. Should I spend extra for the Michelins even
Yes.
though they'll age out before wearing
Yes.
out? Yes. I have a hashtag on Twitter that I use a lot, which is hashtag just get the Michelins.
Yeah.
Spend the extra money, dude. Tires are everything. They're just everything.
You know, people do these performance builds and then skimp on tires. It's like that's
amazing.
that's the contact patch to the road. It doesn't
Four
matter what
ways,
else you do.
yeah.
And by
Only
the way,
4 ways.
at
Get good
6,000
tires.
miles a year, They will if you buy brand new tires and drive a car 6,000 miles a year, they probably won't age out before they wear out. It'll probably be about the same. It'll be worth your while. Amin Zagari says, what are your thoughts on the 981 Cayman S with the 6 engine? Is it a good buy right now? I think they are.
I think so for sure. Come on.
Yes.
I think a 6-cylinder Cayman is a good buy right now. I would say yes, sir. It is a good buy.
Make that
Own
happen.
it. Own it.
And they sound very nice. Bimmerd, we got a couple left.
There's one that says Matt right there. I'm reading that one.
Hold on, Matt. Yeah, this is it. You've said in the past that the E30 BMW with the S54 swap was the best BMW you've ever driven. True. I'm currently building one. I'm curious how you compare the driving experience to classic 80s 911s. Okay. All right. So you're talking about a front engine rear drive car as opposed to a rear engine car. Nothing else feels like a 911, right, Magnus?
True.
Nothing else, right? However, the 80s, the E30 with the S54 swap was very fast, very manic, very raw. It had all the things I like about BMW and none of the things I don't like about the new BMW. But, you know, you're talking about a highly customized car. It didn't really, an 80s 911, it felt a little more modern for sure. And it was faster. It was definitely, there's not a lot of 80s 911s I've driven that were faster than that car. But it was fucking cool, and if you're building one, you should. It was rowdy. It was an 88 BMW E30 two-door with an E46 M3 complete drivetrain.
Sounds fun.
Rowdy. 350 horsepower. It was awesome.
I just drove an M1 2 days ago in Portland.
BMW M1?
Yeah.
Was it
Little
lovely?
Bulldog.
Yeah.
Fuck, that thing was
Oh, wait,
fast.
a 1M or an M1? Like the mid-engine old
You
one
were
from the 80s?
you were saying 1M to me.
Go to my Instagram
I wasn't
profile.
there. I wasn't
It's
there.
a new thing.
A new thing.
Hold on. Go to my Instagram.
This is it.
No,
Oh, this is Hannah's.
Go up.
Wait,
No,
this is
that's
you.
that's his.
Click that video right there. That
Here?
video.
This one.
That video. Watch.
Oh.
What is that? What is that right there?
Right there.
That's
Oh, that's a
new one.
1M. That's a 1M.
1M.
Yeah, 1M.
That car's awesome.
They're great.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're
I've driven
fantastic.
an M1 from the 70s.
The one from the 70s
I've
is
driven
cool.
that. That's an awesome car
It's like
there.
a slow Lamborghini that works better.
Or like a Lotus, kind of. Yeah.
I mean, I'm a big fan of a 2002. I'm a big fan of a 3.0 Batmobile.
Right.
I'm a fan of an M1. That 1M, though, that thing's got like 340, 50 horsepower.
Yeah.
It's like a Bulldog.
Torquey.
Yeah.
Steroids,
Torquey.
super torquey,
We were
fast.
just talking about that on the last show. That car is great.
They only
because
built it
it's-
1 year, right?
Yeah. It's one of the few BMWs that actually has more engine than chassis.
Yeah.
It's rare that a BMW
That car
has...
is awesome.
Yeah, they're worth a lot of money. And so an E30 with an S54 engine is like
I
that.
think he should keep that car.
Highly recommend.
He's talking
so,
about
too.
selling it.
He should. And
He
if he
should
sells it,
keep
you should
it.
buy it.
Well, you know what he's
Yeah.
thinking of buying?
They're good buys.
Acura NSX.
The new one or an old one?
Old one.
Yeah, they're good. Those are good
Yeah,
buys
I
too.
like them too.
Those are good buys too. A donation for beer. Thank you.
Gotta like that.
Hannah, go
Yes,
Ducks. Or
thanks.
Oregon.
Nice.
Oregon.
Dante Zero says, I'm seeing Patrick George from Jalopnik. He bought an 87 series. I think he bought
I
a
like that.
735 with a manual or a 733 with a manual.
I'd get an
BMW.
840, 850.
Do you really?
I like that car. You know,
They're
I like
cool.
that car.
Oh, they're
I like that
rad.
car.
It doesn't seem like your taste, but I like it.
I like that car. Come on.
I'm getting serious about finding my mom's dream BMW. Which are best for non-stick, Lux-leaning drivers?
What is that, a
Ooh.
two-pedal car?
That's a three-pedal car, but I
Non-stick.
think for
Non-stick is two-pedal,
my-
right?
Non-stick is two-pedal.
Yeah, that's what I'm
sorry.
saying.
Oh, I apologize. I would say get the James Bond E38.
Oh, here we go.
Which
Let's see
is my favorite luxury BMW. Where let me get a good picture here. Which is this guy, which is the short wheelbase 740i Sport, which I love.
There's nothing wrong with that car.
I love
That's
these
cool.
cars.
Nothing wrong.
I can see you liking that. You'd call that clutch.
I would call that a clutch automobile.
That's a fucking
Yes.
rad.
There is nothing
car.
wrong with that car at
but
all.
I think it's automatic. That's like a two-pedal.
That's fine. I don't
non-clutch.
care.
That's not a three-pedal
That's
car.
chill, man.
No, that's
You're just
good.
cruising.
No, his mom's.
Yes,
his mom's
she
wants
needs
one.
that.
Well,
she
there
needs
you go.
that.
Like
She
that.
needs that.
Let's see. Jeff says, I met you both at various tracks, and you're genuine as fuck. Thank you,
Whoa.
Jeff. I'm looking at a manual 16 or 17 GTI for a new daily driver in Ohio. Thoughts? Nice cars. Performance pack if you can get it.
Go for
APR tune if you can get it. Snow tires are a must.
Go for it.
That's what I would say. That's all. They're nice cars. The controls are very light. Also, maybe test drive a Focus ST. The steering's a little sharper. But that's just what
You got a Focus, right?
sold it.
Oh,
I had
you
an
did?
RS. I sold it. Yeah.
You've been selling some cars.
I had to get
You
a
got-
Porsche.
You got to
and
sell out and buy a
Lamborghini.
Porsche and a Countach.
I sold two.
Moving
Fords-
on
I like it. I
two
like it. I
Fords
support
to get
it.
a Porsche
I
and a
support
Lamborghini.
it.
Let's see. Petrolhead says, "What is your favorite place visited during your Portland trip?"
Oh, hold on. I got to read it. It says, "Hey, gang, met you two at OMSI." That's the
What is
Oregon Museum of Science
yeah.
and
Oh,
Industry,
and-
where we
yes.
did the Outlaw Gathering.
It was great seeing you. We had the F100 camper.
That's cool.
Nice.
That's cool.
What was your favorite place in Portland?
Well, we visited a lot of really, really cool places. We visited Nike for the first time. That campus was awesome. We were treated really, really nicely up there by a bunch of really,
Sorry
really
about
cool
the lack
guys.
of video, folks. I switched
Yeah.
the fucking thing. My bad.
Everywhere we went in Portland was pretty awesome.
I would say Nike campus,
Nike
which I
campus
didn't go
was
to, but
awesome.
I've been to many times before, and then Skyline Drive.
Oh,
we
there's some
took a
great
drive
driving roads
on
there.
Skyline Drive up above the
In
city.
OPP.
To me, that was our favorite.
Is
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
a continuation of the Skyline Drive from San Francisco? Is it completely different Skyline
I think
Drive?
it's probably separate.
It's
it goes
twisty,
over Cornelius Pass.
Germantown.
Yeah, anybody from Portland will know that area. Great driving road.
I'll fuck with that.
And
Big shout out
really
to,
beautiful leaves.
Big shout out to Chris Jury for loaning his 1990
Thank you.
964. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
You get Porsches from like friends and fans all the time.
People-
What we
like,
call
come
OPP,
to him.
other people's
Yes.
Porsches. We're down with OPP.
It's amazing. Real quick, Kevin says C63S convertible or BMW M4
That's you,
convertible.
Hannah.
M4.
You say M4?
Yeah, for sure. It's tight.
I say C63S.
Why do you say C63?
I think it sounds better. I prefer a soft top to a folding
Oh,
hard top.
I like a hard top. I have it's
Okay.
Why?
Why?
Why a soft top?
So
Because it's
why is it
lighter.
soft?
Yeah, because it's
It's
lighter.
lighter.
It's lighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
it's
I
lighter.
like the aesthetics of a hard top.
Fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally
so that's
fair.
fair. Yeah.
Split the difference. Magnus, BMW or Mercedes?
Oh, that's really, really tough. Really tough. BMW.
Oh, he wasn't going to go against his lady on that one. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. We got 4 left, and then we're calling the game. I know
right.
Magnus is into subtle designs on cars, but what do you think about the Gumpert Apollo IE, which is this
Well, Matt, you're
aggressive
one step
craziness?
ahead. You already have the car up there. I mean,
I was producing
Anticipation.
while you guys were
Producing.
talking.
you know, it's an interesting time with hypercars. You know, there seems to be a lot of interesting stuff coming out. I've never driven one. It looks cool. It looks aggressive. But until you drive it,
It
hard
does
to
have
say.
a Ferrari V12.
Well, how bad can that be, right?
Better than an LS motor.
Yeah. Well, I say 2 thumbs up. It looks like if in black, if Darth Vader drove a car, that might be it.
It's real crazy looking. Wait, maybe we can find one another color. Here's a yellow. What do you think about a yellow?
I prefer the black.
I do too. The yellow doesn't work. So
In
good
some
there.
weird way, it reminds me of a Vector. Remember the Vector?
Yeah.
Do you see that in it?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
It reminds me of a Vector in that they're going to sell 6 of them.
You know, I have to say though,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I once had the opportunity to drive a Pagani Huayra. I drove it
Yeah.
twice, actually. And I wasn't necessarily in love with that car. And I drove it on my favorite road. And it was one of those things I never really
Yeah.
thought about once I got out of it. You know, it drew tons of attention.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a car I lusted after all wanted.
That's kind of okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can
I'm
never
okay with that.
never judge a car till you drive it.
But
honestly.
the Grumpig Apollo IE design for the guy that put the question in black looked awesome.
It
Didn't
looks
like it in
crazy.
yellow.
Yeah.
Looks awesome.
I've
in
heard
black.
a video of one. It sounds nuts. I've never seen one in person. I'd like to. KC says 987. Okay, so 2009. All right. All right, hang on.
How much money you got to spend?
What he wants is first generation versus second generation Cayman
base.
base.
Well, I think I answered this question earlier. I'm looking for the first generation Cayman.
I think he wants for himself, but that's a financial question. I
Yeah.
say if you can afford the newer one, get the newer one. But that's just me.
But you're saying from a collecting perspective, get the
For
first.
me, I like to start with everything in the beginning. Not necessarily, you know, it's not necessarily the best, but I like to start at the beginning and then go through the evolution of the series of that make and model.
There you go.
So buy whatever you can afford, enjoy it, drive the crap out of it. Don't worry what other people think.
I say drive both and buy the one that makes you smile more.
There you go.
Because there are many of those
Smiles
available.
per
And you won't be
mile.
able
Smiles
to
per
test
mile.
drive. There you go. Marc-André Charbonneau.
Oh, the Taycan. Well,
Thoughts on the Taycan,
well,
the
that's
electric
that's
Porsche?
a real long story. It's like, you know, they used to call that the Mission E, right? And then all of
Yeah.
a sudden, apparently all the good names were taken, and they called it the Taycan. That's the rumor through there.
Ah,
The names are taken. They called it the Taycan. That's funny.
I'm going to sum it up with one sentence that was given by someone very high up at Porsche to Hannah. The Empire always strikes back. I'll leave it at that.
Mean?
It means it's going to be awesome. It'll be fast.
It'll be
fun.
great.
It's
I
gonna
drove
be
the
awesome.
Panamera S Turbo SE Hybrid. I thought it was rad. That was fun.
The car looks awesome. I think it's going to kill Panamera sales because why would you buy a Panamera if you can buy the Taycan, right? I think the challenge will be allocation. Porsche is going to basically have
Flipper,
more.
you think there's going to be a flipper market?
Oh, we don't have time to talk about that subject. It's my pet peeve hate. I think to sum it up briefly, the Taycan looks awesome. I spoke to Mark Webber about it. It drives great. It looks phenomenal. The challenge will be getting one because I think Porsche won't be able to make enough of them. So run down to your dealer, get your name on the list, beg, steal, or borrow, and go get yourself one if you need one. If not, just buy a 944.
I'll be the voice of dissent. I would say don't judge it till you drive it. And also, electric cars have a long way to go before we have a real infrastructure that can support them.
I agree.
That is
Charging
so smart.
is an issue.
So
Battery
I
range
honestly,
is an issue.
withholding judgment on that. It's like a nice idea. It's a really beautiful idea, but
Well, they supposedly
there's
have
a long way to go.
super fast charging system, right?
Yeah,
Maybe?
But where is
maybe.
that system?
See, but all of this
Fucking
is
find
like
out.
maybe apparently.
Is that in the middle of nowhere when you lost on your
supposedly-
adventure and you got like,
I'm very, very skeptical.
you are so smart.
Fair.
You are so,
Totally
that's,
fair.
That's a great answer.
I honestly, I feel like gas stations should really start installing chargers.
Yeah, if
Like,
they're
there's
but
a lot of
but
gas
they
stations
haven't
with a lot of
they
space.
haven't even done that.
I know,
And
but
that's
they should.
if they
Like,
started
why isn't
now, it would
fucking
take
Shell in
years.
the charger business.
We
Yeah.
are many years away
Wait.
from a real infrastructure that supports electric vehicles.
2050. It's not going to be
Totally.
2025. It's going to be
Yeah.
2050.
Last question:
Okay.
Mark 6 Golf R versus Mark 7 Volkswagen GTI.
Ooh, GTI,
Daily.
GTI, for
Mark
sure.
7 GTI,
Yes.
100%. The
For
Mark
sure.
6 Golf R is the 6-cylinder one.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Is it? The 2
I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember which
I'd
one
have
it
to
is.
look it up, but
all I
GTI.
remember is the traction control is super invasive
Yeah.
and sucks my ass.
Does it come with a plaid interior?
I actually think it does as a base. The base one.
Two thumbs
it
up.
does.
2 thumbs up.
Fuck, that's a good show.
Whoa,
Well
awesome.
done. Follow Hannah Elliott XO on Instagram. Just Google Bloomberg Hannah Elliott. You'll find
Yeah.
her Instagram, right?
Yes, you will.
Love you.
Columns constantly. She's
Yes.
a winner.
Yes, she
with
is.
great long coats.
That's true.
And of course, Magnus on Instagram. Y'all know who he is. He way more famous than me. You don't need to know this. Follow myself on Instagram. Do all the things. You know how it is. Oh my God, I'm so bad at producing right now.
No, you did a great
I'm
job.
not
Yeah.
bringing
Been
the
phenomenal.
things over to the screen. Oh man, we're gonna get so
There've
many
been no
comments.
commercials on this. It's like my third time on the Smoking Tires show with Matt Farah. We haven't done a
I
single
do.
commercial.
You know what I do now?
What do you
to
do now?
save you, to
Yeah.
make your experience as a guest
Well,
better,
this has been my favorite
I
experience.
record the ads at home separately
Oh.
from you guys.
In the bathroom on the toilet.
Yes,
That's
while
really,
pooping.
honestly.
While
Boom.
pooping.
That's
Which is exactly what
lovely.
people watching this show are
Yeah.
doing right now. So, to our live audience, I say thank you very much for watching. To our guests, thank you for braving traffic in first
Thanks,
gear
Matt.
in a 77 Turbo. You both have open seats next time. For the
Thank
record
you.
again, Hannah had the invite here.
That's true.
Thank
Fucking
you.
the bearded one is tagging along.
You're very kind.
I'm no worries. I'm the plus one.
there
It's
no-
recognized
I'm the
and
tiger lung.
remembered.
100%. 100%. Thank you guys. The Smoking Tire Podcast is powered by Shout Engine. Get your own damn podcast at shoutengine.com.
That's right.
It's
Shout it
easy.
out.
All you need is a microphone, a connection to the internet, and preferably something to say. Good day.
Cheers.